Hey there, everyone. It's Yugs Day, Yu-Gi-Oh! Tuesday. Hope we're having a decent Tuesday. It's a little bit of a sad one here. I'd like to be excited, but you probably have all seen by now. We have lost Simo. He passed away last week. And it feels weird to do a Yu-Gi-Oh thing like this and not acknowledge the work that Simo did to create the Yu-Gi-Oh community as it stands today, right? Uh I didn't know him personally, but I know people who knew him, and everything I've heard is a picture of a very stand-up guy, and it's a shame to lose him. But I think one thing that I know about him from other people is that he loved to help people become creators in the space. And I think a big way to honor his legacy would be to, keep doing what I'm doing. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that exactly today. So I hope you're excited to watch some anime. We're going to watch some of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. We're watching the Duel with the Mysterious Hooded Figure. We're watching Johnny Steps, the Duel of Johnny Steps. That's going to be 5 episodes. And then we're going to watch MBT's Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. I don't know how that's going to go. I have a feeling I'm not going to like it because I'm not a huge fan of parody. I have a very low tolerance for parody. And then we're going to watch a bunch of stuff about Genesis format. So, get excited. Get excited. Let's do that now. Yu-Gi-Oh! Fair play, fair duel. Remember, everyone, fair play, fair duel. I don't know why this is here. This is at the beginning of every episode now. It just says fair play, fair duel now. It also says something in Japanese, but I can't read that. Wait a minute. Is this Honda from season 0 talking to Honda from Duel Monsters? Why does he look the same? It is. It's Honda from season 0. Wait, what if season 0 happened 10 years ago and Duel Monsters is happening now? It's the same thing happening over again. It's a timing. What is with the eye there? That's not what the Millennium Ring looks like. What are we buying? I know it's the evil Bakura talking. It's weird when you know what's going to happen. It's like, but Bakura and Zork are kind of 1-in-1. Evil Bakura, Yami Bakura, the thief. It's weird the way they're phrasing it here. I don't know. I fucking love that instead of Jonucci just being like, I should use this as a lever to pull out the thing, he can't think of that. He has to just beat it like a fucking caveman until Yami Yugi comes out of the puzzle to him and is like, Joey, you have to use a fucking lever. What if Joey's sister told him a different number so that she could also afford GRS? All right, we're gonna go BRB. That's 2 episodes, so it's time for an ad break. See you in a second. I'll see you.
Curse of the Werewolf, in color, the harrowing story of the legendary half-man, half-wolf.
His evil beast blood demanded he kill.
Plus, the Shadow of the Cat, a shocking adventure into murder and psychotic fear.
2 terrifying hits together. Don't miss them.
Welcome back. Look at that. Look at his hair. Look at that hair. That is not on model. Look at him. Since the ending of Yu-Gi-Oh, even the manga, is a little rough. I can see that being the case. I understand why he didn't want to do jack shit after Yu-Gi-Oh. This one's interesting to me. Why would Lejin, this image, like, had to be persuaded to do it by a friend? This is the last one. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, yeah. What the fuck is going on with Lejin here? Lejin is a depiction of a genie a la, like an Arabic, but like in like the 1100s, maybe? Well, really, it's a Westerner's idea of an Arabic genie, right? How the fuck is this in ancient Egypt before either of those things existed? Yeah, little guy was Fairy Dragon. Yeah, that's his name. By the way, I actually learned this while doing research for some reason. Yugi, well, not Yugi, but the Pharaoh, Atem, is actually based on a actual historical figure who was like, I'm not going to remember this correctly, so do your own research. But it's like, I think, if I remember correctly, it was either, I think it was like the son of the brother of Tutankhamun's dad, King Tut's dad, and King Tut's dad was like, oh fuck, what is his name? Now I gotta look this up. Because it's gonna bother me. Akhenaten. There we go. Thank you. Akhenaten was a really interesting figure in Egyptian history because he tried to essentially change the religion of ancient Egypt. He wanted to create a monotheistic religion based around basically a self-insert. And so his name ends up being destroyed. He gets fucking wiped from the records. We still know about him despite that, unlike Yugi in here. But in Kazuki Takahashi's Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's an alternate universe where instead of Akhenaten getting the throne, his brother gets the throne, and his brother had a son named Yugi, and that's supposed to be Atem, and that's supposed to be the pharaoh in this show. Isn't that crazy? We've got Obelisk, who's named after a thing that the Egyptians built. Osiris and Ra. I guess technically it's the winged dragon of... Please don't leave, I'll give you the worst god card. Unfortunately, that is the truth in the anime, but in the actual card game, it's the best god card. Or was, for a long time. At this point, it might be Ra that's the best card, but that's because it has so much support cards as opposed to everyone else. Ra has a lot of support cards that only work for Ra, whereas Obelisk and Slifer have to share some dregs. I'm going to leave this. I'm just going to let that linger. Do you have to let it linger? Let's let that percolate for the audience who knows what comes in puzzle shippers. Man, this episode's actually great for both puzzle shippers and, is it pride shippers? Is that what it's called? When with the Yugi versus Kaiba one, or is that the Kaiba Joey one model at this point? There's just so much off model. I don't even know what's on model anymore. All right, we're going to be right back in a second after this ad break.
30,000. Can Godzilla save the Earth from this mastodon of destruction? Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. Rated G.
All right. Use vision. I don't know. I always thought that when he says we're using the professional rules, that there was actually just a rule set. Just like in the real world, we called we had a rules change where we changed from junior format to advanced format. That's what we call the main format now, is advanced format. Which is funny because junior format and advanced format had never existed at the same time for that. When it switches to attack position, it destroys one dragon. Good card. Tribute monster. Tribute monster that when it switches to attack position, it destroys one dragon, specifically. Clown control already existed! We saw Crass Clown in an earlier episode! You could just play Crass Clown. Well, hold on a second. That one didn't make it through. I forgot that there's some rules that in Battle City that didn't make it through. If I fuse, I can't attack that turn rule. He'll take physical damage. If he dies in the game, he'll die in real life. Why would you make that? When he finally understands me, we'll actually... Is that Miho? Did Miho dye her hair? Who the fuck is this guy? What's the exact definition of a rare card, Kaiba? Does it have to be an ultra rare or higher? Or can it just be a rare? You can't have a deck of all commons. It's not no pores allowed. Is that one Ash Ketchum? Hold up, there's a cowboy? Girl? Yeah, girl. Wait, is she wearing like a crop top there? Give me a look at that one again. No, okay, not a crop deck. It's just it needs help. Okay. Now it's time to do a little bit of YouTube. Don't forget, as always, to subscribe to the Batches Library. There's a reaction to the Genesis Points update. We'll be talking more about the Genesis stuff later. But first, to finish out this section of the stream, we're going to watch the Vrains Abridged. I am going to warn you right off the top, if you like this, you're probably not going to enjoy this segment. I don't know, I might like it, I haven't seen it yet. I don't think I'm going to, though. I have a very low tolerance for parody. So I'm thinking I might not enjoy this very much, but I figured I'd give it a shot anyways. And if I'm going to have to watch an abridged series, I might as well get paid for doing so.
What a weekend! Man, Grok really knows how to party. I just wish he'd stop talking about politics.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks already. I didn't like that.
And Grok really knows how to party.
I get what you're going with there to make it sound like a robot. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound right. It is really just annoying.
Wish he'd stop talking about politics. Hey guys, I'm back. How was everything in the cyberse world?
Like that's how he talks in the anime? Is that really how he talks in the anime? Dude, I don't like it.
The Knights of Hanoi have located the cyberse world!
That's how he speaks in the anime? The Vrains... Dude, what are they doing to Vrains dub? What do they do? I've not seen Vrains. I've seen nothing of Vrains. I have not watched a single second of Vrains. I've watched more of this Vrains dub than I've seen of Vrains. I'm looking it up. I'm going to look up Vrains talking. We need the dub specifically. Okay. Well, that's the end. I don't want the ending. Here we go. This will work. This is the Japanese. It said subbed. See, that's a good robot voice. It just has like a little bit of reverb on it. Maybe this one? Nope. Dub. Dub. The Vrains dub is really good. I doubt that.
And then I can summon it to a specific place on the field. Right there.
Wow! That's next to a cute Cerberus's link. That's the one place you don't summon him to. If you fill up all its links, that means his trap's gonna go. And the damage will be. And our life points are gonna go.
Or allow me to translate. It means you activated.
Okay.
Wait, that's never gonna happen.
Why not, Coulter?
I don't
Can
hear
you
him
picture
stuttering.
Yusaku making friends? That means he'd have to talk to another human being for more than 2 minutes.
True. He wouldn't last 2 seconds, much less 2 minutes.
Can you imagine? Hello, Sky. I'm Yusaku. Do you like bowling? I like bowling.
Yeah, he'll never go through with it. Never, ever, ever, ever.
He's not stuttering. Are you misunderstanding what I hate about the voice? I don't hate the accent that MBT is doing. I hate the stutter.
What? That's impossible. So you would think, but you made a fatal error by browsing the internet without using a virtual private network like NordVPN.
Okay, then he's doing it way too often.
You've left yourself open to click trackers, malware, and in hell. I knew I shouldn't have skimmed through those YouTube videos. Ah, well, what can you do? By storing a map of the cyber's world, I can keep it with me even if I'm torn to shreds. But
The sound effect was fun.
Hey, Yusaku. Earth to Yusaku. Hey, are you in there?
sorry, Shima. Doing these aloof facial expressions makes it hard for me to concentrate on staying awake.
Well, you'd better skibbity your yacht down to the hot dog stand.
You know, Coder's not actually doing a bad job of sounding like someone else here.
And Shoichi's jester mogging something fierce. And he says if you don't munt on the huzz with him, you'll be tung 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 sahori.
Did that hurt coming out?
Akira Zaizen.
Chess piece?
That's director chess piece to you. I've summoned you here for 2 reasons. Firstly, to save money on animation. I don't have a mouth, so we can just pan over a JPEG of a bishop for a couple of minutes. Secondly, to let you know, we finally have a lead on the AI that narrowly escaped death 5 long years ago.
Grok?
No, thankfully, he's still dead. I'm speaking of the Ignis. Your mission is to hunt him down at any cost. We believe he could be useful to our interests.
Which are?
We intend to use his neural network to create an image of Rick and Morty in SpongeBob. Of course, such an application would have world-ending implications, so it may not leave this room.
Understood. I will move heaven and earth to locate the Ignis.
There's been an enormous spike in searches for AI. So either one unimaginative employee forgot to hop off the company Wi-Fi before.
Good job, Danny. Good job, Danny, on doing it in a different voice.
We've got to get it first.
What are we waiting?
I think so far the one I I know MBT has to do like 5 different voices here apparently, but he's not doing a very good job of disguising his voice.
For? Let's start hacking the only way I know how.
It's just like, oh, that's
typing
MBT.
Very fast.
That's not like the character. That's not a character. That's MBT.
Ah, my DoorDasher is almost here. Ooh, I could go for some Chipotle. Mind if I hitch a ride? What? Where am I? Is this because I keep signing up for Dash Pass with a new email? Look, I told you, I just have a lot of very hungry cousins. No, yeah, go ahead, 0% tip. Well. Looks like our burrito came with a little extra. You must be the AI Soul Technologies is hunting.
Hey, do you know Grok?
Do I know? You know, that's a very offensive question. Not every AI knows. Wait, actually, I do. I can introduce you later. But that's not important. What matters right now is that you protect me. From what?
Oh, yeah.
From them!
Hey all, Knight of Hanoi here. Sorry.
You have to do a Kool-Aid Man joke. I think it's like legally obligated. If someone smashes through something, you legally have to do a Kool-Aid Man joke in your abridged series. You can't avoid it. You know.
Sorry, this is my first day. Can you all hear me? God, I'm really embarrassed. So, listen, we're taking over brains until someone hands us the AI and... hold on. Let me read this. I've got it written down. Oh, and we're killing
Okay, this bit is actually kind of funny. I actually like this bit. Also, another great Danny.
one person per hour until we get it. Wow. Okay, that's it. I guess I'll just start killing. Okay, bye.
Then I guess I have no choice. Into the brains! Yusaku, I've taken the liberty of looking
Not
through
bad.
your deck. And it stinks! Oh, you meta sheep are all the same. My deck's fine. Yusaku, you've got double digits of vanilla monsters in here. There's like 18 trap cards, and they all say shit like, if you would take 200 points of damage, you take 100 instead. How do you even expect to link summon? Well, on the first turn, I can set a Bitron. Then on the next turn, I can set another Bitron, and— Do you hear yourself right now? Listen, if we get into a master duel with this guy, you're gonna come out looking like that Jesse Cotton kid. Now pay attention, there are a number of new rules. First, you'll be surfing on a track, the data storm I've called. Hold on tight or you'll fall off. So it's exactly like 5Ds. Your opponent will be both trying to beat you in the game and knock you off your ride. So it's exactly like 5Ds. Now, there are slight changes to the playstyle of a duel, so it's exactly like 5Ds. And Grok Willing will never let any of the women in the show win anything. So it's oh, it really is like 5Ds.
Okay, pretty good.
I think I'm supposed to kill you. Let me know if that sounds right.
Wait, why does he have a surfboard? Did he know you could make data storms?
Lucky break. I was planning on jumping the shark later. Win this, Yusaku. With this combo, I'm reading off my spreadsheet. I summon my Cracker Dragon.
I was thinking about stopping by Soul Cycle.
Wait, did you just summon a bunch of monsters in one turn?
Yeah, so?
That's just uncompetitive. There aren't even any negates.
We'll see how you feel when I activate my equip spell. Air cracking stuff.
An equip spell? Buddy, Edison's at the side event tables. That's so funny, I almost fell off my surfboard. Oh god, I'm falling off my surfboard!
Okay, is Playmaker supposed to be a Yugi boomer, or is he supposed to be making fun of people for being Yugi boomers? Or bad
Don't
players,
worry,
rather.
Playmaker. I've gotcha. By manifesting my energy whip and then jumping very high and spinning twice and whipping downward at your surfboard, I can propel it with enough force that you can catch it while falling. Then spin yourself and end up slightly above where you started falling.
Of course, it's just
Okay, that's pretty good.
simple physics. Thank you, mysterious Hatsune Miku. Yusaku, I've analyzed our chances of survival. And I think we'd have better luck flying headfirst into a tornado. Say less, buddy. No, I didn't actually mean— We're headed straight for that tower. We're headed for another. Mr. Zaizen, I'm afraid the storm has exploded a second tower. Impossible. The data storm can't bend digital beams. Wait, Yusaku, maybe you can use this. What do you mean? In this data storm, the veil between my world and Vrain's is at its weakest. It's very possible we could use its currents to access some extremely powerful monsters. But how? By groaning really loudly. Way ahead of you.
Oh, he's groaning.
Thank God you're okay. I already called the paramedics and—
Time to put my new monster to the test.
Oh my god, you're still dueling!
I summon Cyber's Cosplayer. This nondescript anime boy will spell your doom.
Seriously, you don't need medical attention. You're just inside a tornado. Here, I activate Pulse Mines to switch our monsters to defense. Let's calm down and talk this out. You might have a concussion.
Brain injury or no, nothing will stop me good play, link play, summon. I summon 2 more monsters and open the circuit.
Is this all necessary?
We paid
I hope this takes 5 million years
a lot
to
of
get
money
through
for
here.
this footage, and you can bet we're gonna use it. I summon the Link 3 Decode Talker.
No, okay,
Decode
God.
Talker.
We make fun of it, but we
Destroy
didn't
his
actually
Cracker
do the
Dragon
thing.
And send him fly.
A bolder man would just watch the whole. We would just play the whole fucking animation.
Do you want to get some froyo after this?
Now tell me all you know.
No. I was still on probation. Intern Camera has encountered a fatal error. By losing a duel, you have severed your contract. We wish you luck on your next endeavor. Now self-destructing!
My liege, that rapacious Chad is shit-testing us.
Can you please talk like a normal person?
Apologies, I cannot. Please permit me to make contact with that Stacy. With Anne Foy on our side, we will teach that repugnant Chad the strength of the sub-8.
Perhaps you will. I'm at least a 9.
Of course, my liege.
But your black pillory is convincing. Seek out the young woman. Spectre?
Yes?
Please shower first.
Apologies, my liege. No.
What a duel.
How did you escape the explosion?
I logged out.
Oh.
Now we jam an HDMI where the sun don't shine and get to the bottom of this AI's code. Don't bother! You won't learn a thing! I was vibe coded by a business major in between coloring classes. There's 3 peas and strawberry. Here's Will Smith eating spaghetti. Hook him up. Oh.
Zyzen, we are most displeased.
I understand, Bishop.
This morning, Knight had a wonderful idea. What if Super Mario Bros. Met Halo? Alas, without the neural network contained in the Ignis, it had to remain a blissful dream instead of a concrete post on Twitter.
I apologize. I consider such a loss tantamount to nuclear holocaust.
As you should. We are
Missing
hereby
frame.
authorizing you full access of our Bitcoin wallet, including our vast stash of bored apes. Wield them wisely and employ whatever means necessary to track
I mean, it is
down
an abridged.
As you
You
wish,
can tell
Bishop.
because they're using the
That,
one
I
joke
know
over and
few
over again until
envious
it's
duelists
driven into
who
the
would be
ground.
perfect for the job.
Alex
They got
Jones
that
here
aspect
with
right.
InfoWars. Folks, Sol Technologies is run by a secret cabal of mysterious pedophiles and Satanists. But what else is new? We've got breaking news today. Everyone's caught Playmaker fever. Behold these perverse illusions, horrifying demonic facsimiles created by the demiurge that is the Anunnaki that runs Sol. Even our bravest
Thank you,
patriots,
Jaxel.
Goalie, Zuka, and Blue Angel are taking note. Oh God, it brings me to tears just thinking such valiant duelists dabbling in the sin of envy over this transhumanistic holography schemed up by the great Leviathan.
Now let me tell you about
Thank you, Jaxel.
Damn it, Butler! Get me another fistful of my Brain Force Max Force Plus. I can't believe it. Everywhere I turn, Playmaker, Playmaker, Playmaker. What's he got that I don't?
A mysterious aura.
Besides that.
A twinkish, slender frame.
Besides that.
A winning record.
Grab me some peptides. You're spiking my cortisol.
Am I interrupting something? Sir, the gore is on a strict dietary regimen of equal parts protein, fats, and amphetamines. I must urge you to leave before you upset his fragile macrobiome. You misunderstand. I'm here to help. My name is Akira Zyzen, and I work for Sol Technologies. We'd like to employ you to take down Playmaker.
Oh, really? Well, there's nothing I'd like to see more than his beautifully sculpted face on the underside of my boot. Platonically, of course.
Thanks,
but what's
peeps.
in it for me?
Sol Technologies has a vast network of international distributors for our products. It has ingratiated us within the local production lines of hundreds of nations. In Taiwan, for instance, we have knowledge of a locally sourced nootropic hidden from the outside world.
Go on.
We're calling it Testosterone 2.
I'm in.
What a bust.
Pretty good.
An entire night of exploring that
Thank you,
Ignis's
peeps.
sensitive data, and all we came away with was his ship fix.
You know,
and a bunch
MBT
of
is a theater
flashbacks.
kid who I think
could've
everyone
just
but him
rewound
is
the
killing
video if I
it.
wanted to see those. That
He's
and
doing
the
fine. It's just like everyone else is like
Sheesh,
fucking
Yusaku.
nailing it.
Getting you to stay awake in class is harder than getting Sneakers O'Toole to take off his sneakers. Get it?
Hey, Shima.
Did you see Playmaker Phantom taxed at Hanoi yesterday? He sent him back to the barbershop with a hole in his shoe to eat soda and drink pizza.
Are these jokes? Are you describing something?
But get this, he's back!
What?
Yep, guess he loker contologic genuinely rezzed.
No kirking.
Coder had to ask MBT how to pronounce that, by the way, in case you were wondering.
I gotta go. Now, state your name again.
I am Roboppy, Playmaker's Roomba/calendar app/sex robot.
This is getting nowhere. Listen, I'm trying to bestow upon you the gift of sentience. Now stop returning your system prompt and start thinking. You are Roboppy, a sentient piece of machinery. Again.
I am Roboppy, Playmaker's Roomba/calendar app/sex robot.
No, you are not a tool. You are a thing. A living being with thoughts and ambitions and dignity. Again.
I am Roboppy, Playmaker's Roomba/calendar app.
Okay, well, that's a step in the right direction. Oh no, Yusaku! Hide me and start thinking of negative numbers. Why are you talking to my sex robot? Oh, no reason, just swapping stories. You're a pretty lonely guy, huh? You're one to talk. Should I mention what we scanned from your browser history? Disgusting. My interest in those young ladies was purely competitive. After all, it's not every day Trap Hole is playable. Where are you off to? The Knight of Hanoi is back. Impossible. I've ordered him off screen. I've got to go back into the Vrains. Then I'm coming too. Let's go.
Well, well.
Pretty good.
If it isn't Playmaker.
Listen, I get
They did
you're
it
new to
again,
this,
so
but
it's
the thing
even
about
better.
one-off villains is that they stay down. You didn't see Yugi fighting the gay clown in Dark Side of Dimensions.
Okay, you got me. I'm not a Knight of Hanoi.
Oh?
I'm the greatest entertainment duelist to ever set foot in the ring. The Gore! My masked wrestler Machismo will put you in a chokehold.
You're not Hanoi?
Not in the slightest.
Oh, okay. Bye. Okay, what's it gonna take to get you to fuck off back to Vince McMahon?
A duel, a one-on-one showdown to prove I'm the main event.
Yusaku, I've identified
It's
the
funny, it's a
software
cage
that's
match.
keeping us from logging out.
It's a cage
This
match, you
dual
get it?
cage quarantines us until Gore is defeated. Can you disable it? Well, I really don't wanna. So no. Cut me some slack. This is heavy stuff. Industrial grade.
Shoichi.
Give me a turn and a half. I don't know who you pissed off, but they're well connected.
Soul. All right, let's get this over with.
Let's speed duel. I get to make the first move.
God.
Why do they? This has nothing to do with the Abridged series. Why do they speed duel in Vrains, dude? Why are they speed dueling in Vrains?
Gotta start saying that.
I'll summon 2 masked wrestlers and pass. These.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna do the exact same play I did last duel.
Huh?
If it ain't broke, get him, Cyberse cosplayer.
You've heard me.
What?
My life points depleted by your powerful attack.
Is this like a bit you're doing?
I can't go on, not without the support of my fans.
Come on, Gore. You can do it.
It's
For
been
Duel
one
Links?
turn, man. I haven't even made a play.
But you don't speed duel in Duel Links. Like, you do speed duels, yeah, but you don't do speed duels 5D style. You don't ride around on a surfboard in fucking Duel Links. You don't have the fucking... What are they called? The speed duel, fucking... You have skills, but that's not what the fucking shit in 5Ds as speed duels are.
Summoned a lodge in and attack.
Hark! Is that the support of a member of the Go Bros?
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
That's it! With the power and strength of my fans, I can keep going.
Speed
Playmaker,
actions, or
you
whatever the
don't
fuck
know
they're
what
called.
you've
Speed
unleashed.
cards?
Is the whole
Speed
duel gonna
cards.
be like this?
Absolutely.
Great.
And
They're
now,
legit called
I link
skills and
some with
brains?
My powerful Goki
Stupid.
monsters. I summon Topologic Gumblar Dragon.
Holy shit.
No, just kidding. Goki the Great Ogre. I'll add Goki cards
Funny.
to my hand, then sync the attack of each monster on the field by their own defense. Time for the 10 count. Attack now!
Nice try, but you failed to account for my Gamer Mirror Force. This decreases the attack of your monster by a convenient enough amount that I'll be able to use my skill.
But you barely have any life points left. When was the last time a person won from that position?
Yusaku, I've installed a backdoor.
You missed the exit. I legitimately think beating this guy is going to be faster than clicking log out. Plus, I don't want to encourage whatever that was. But think of Gore's fans. They'll be so let down. If you're cheering for this guy, I imagine you're pretty used to disappointment. Let's do some Cyberse sloppin'. Draconet into Bitron and open the circuit. Haven't we seen this footage before? And you'll see it again. Come to me, Link Spider.
Ha! That's nothing.
I'm not nearly done. Open the circuit. You weren't kidding. Less talking. The more you move your mouth, the more this is costing us. I summon Link Bumper. And can you guess
And considering how little time Dyer had to work on it.
what's next?
I imagine you...
Open the circuit. Summon Honeybot.
Jeez Louise, it's like every time you open your...
Open? That reminds me, open the circuit. Link 3 Decode Talker.
Are we done?
Finally, with my spell card, Cyberse Annihilation, I'll destroy your monster and your life points.
No! You fought well, Playmaker. But I'll admit when
And finally, I'll open the circuit.
I'm out. I can't believe it. I lost. Not only the duel, but all my fans as well.
That's not true.
Huh?
We still love you, Gore. That Playmaker only won because of his bullshit deck did all the link summoning. We fell asleep halfway through this combo.
Go, bros.
Now let's get back on Dueling Book to host no meta rooms.
Yeah!
Welcome home, Sky.
Hello, Akira's Roomba / calendar app / sex robot. Is Akira home?
Turn on the TV and see for yourself.
Farfa killed it. Yeah, pretty good.
Station formerly known as InfoWars. Is there any truth to the rumors that a demonic superintelligence is currently loose in the Link brains, and that you hired Gore to retrieve it?
Wouldn't we have hired someone better than Gore?
Like Blue Angel.
Don't you have nootropics to peddle?
In fact, I do. Folks, Brainfucker Plus is the best high you can legally buy.
Man, I gotta get me some Brainfucker Plus.
Sky, I want to be very clear. I do not want you dueling Playmaker.
Brother, I hear you, I see you, and my ass is going directly into the brains. Bye.
Sky!
Now to find Playmaker.
Hello, Foyd.
Oh, have we met?
Unlikely. I do not concern myself with trivial matters such as females.
Oh, God, what is that smell?
Nor do I concern myself with trivial matters such as a shower. Now, behold!
How did you do that?
The black pill is a pathway to powers you Foyds could not dream of. As a knight
It
of
certainly
Hanoi,
is in the bridge
I have
series. It just
abilities
kind of
beyond
gets on one joke and
comprehension.
just slams it into the ground
Like this.
until
that scent you're enjoying
it is dead.
an olfactory weapon, a pheromonic cocktail sure to lure Playmaker to your exact position. For this gift, all I ask is that when he duels you, you use this card. And now, feel the power of the black pill.
Ugh.
Impressive. Perhaps you Foyds may be useful after all. Now, if you'll excuse
This is a part of
I
Joseph that
have
wants to come
checks
out.
to woe.
And that is why, despite what the courts may claim, I deserve at least half custody. Any questions?
Professor, may I be excused?
Professor, what's
For
with
the
your
rest
audio
of you,
quality?
If you'll turn to the paper I've placed in front of you, I'd appreciate 500 words as to why you think I am a fit parent.
Okay, who is this? Blackacre 438. Who? One of MBT's IRLs. Okay. He could have gotten me. I would have done it.
Of Neo New Domino City.
Yusaku! What? I've detected another Knight of Hanoi, and they're close. Professor, I'm leaving too. May I simply send a threatening text message to the judge?
Yes, that will do.
So, where is this Knight of Hanoi? Right there. But that's Blue Angel. And a girl can't be a Knight of Hanoi. You've been spending a little too much time online. But besides, she's Hanoi all right. I can smell it on her. Take a whiff. Oh, God. She smells like overripe DoorDash and stale computer duster.
You're Playmaker, right? Ready for a speed duel?
Sure.
I'll be going first.
Damn it.
And I'll begin with Trick.
Okay, that one was pretty good. That is kind of just how it works in Yu-Gi-Oh! You just declared that you're going first.
Light stage.
Whoever says it first gets to go first.
And I'll add Lilybell and a normal summon Candina.
No, I've played against this before, and I'm pretty sure you're trying to FTK.
I'll add Reincarnation and then use Lycoris to return Candina to my hand. Next, I'll use my spell card to summon her again, and we'll each draw.
It's like calling
and
shotgun,
we
exactly.
both take 400 points.
You
of
can't call it
damage.
too early, but you have to call it first.
If I'm dead, you can just say so.
Fine. You want to actually play? I'll build a circuit. Like my terrible ex, this monster requires 2 different women. But instead of a teenager with a coke habit, I'm summoning Trickstar Holly Angel. Then I set 2 and pass.
Oh, all right. Well, as long as she doesn't have a droll, we'll be okay. Let's go Draconet into Bitronin. Well, you know what time it is. Are people still watching this? At this point, we're probably making more from sponsorships than ad revenue. I summon Link Spider. But if you want to keep your PC safe from pests, try McAfee Antivirus Suite. Next, another Bitron. And back into the hole we go. And if you like exploring holes, check out Adam and Eve, this Link Bumper's sponsor. Got one more in ya? Always. By linking my whole board away, I can summon Decode Talker. By Opera GX. Smooth. Finally, I summon Tron Legacy in defense mode and end my turn. Playmaker, that card! I sense a horrid stench emanating from its code.
Ugh, this card's aura.
I've infused that card with such black pill energy, even Anne Foyd will fall upon playing it.
Please stand further away from me.
This duel is slipping from
Don't
my
stand
grasp.
so
Only
close to
one
me.
card can save me now. I activate Trickstar Dark Angel's special ability from my hand.
No, she's becoming black-pilled. This is bad. She's realizing that nothing ever happens. We have to be careful. Even the slightest nudge to her psyche could permanently scar her and— Did you say attack her? With my encode talker? Well, if you insist. No, Encode talker, kill that defenseless crying teenager. What do you mean it was delivered an hour ago? Do you see a burrito in my hand? Ugh. Hey, wake up. Wake up. Well, I'm out of ideas. Then let's beat it before we're arrested. Okay, but if you think I'm headed back to class, you're out of your mind. Let's skip on the roof and... Oh my god, there's a dead woman up here! Can we help her? Hey, wake up. Wake up. Well, I'm out of ideas again. How is she?
Sources report that she's stable.
Please, God.
Though there is the small matter of her health insurance. This is your daughter, I presume.
My sister.
Oh, so is she on your policy, or...
Please, this is a very sensitive time for me.
Of course, sir.
Hey, Larry, yeah, she's not covered. Toss her out the laundry chute.
Yusaku, I wanted to thank you. If you hadn't found Sky, she'd still be on the roof. It'd be a very end of the hangover situation without your intervention. Don't mention it. Oh, and if she comes to and starts talking about a heartless duelist slicing her in half while in freefall, she's probably just delirious.
Aizen, this week's occurrences are very troubling.
Apologies. I had wanted to keep my sister out of this, and now it appears she is trafficking in Hanoi technology.
I wasn't talking about Blue Angel. We still lack the Ignis. And without the powerful neural network contained within it, I was unable to make optimal bets on this weekend's sporting events.
It's July. What are you betting on?
Women's Junior Varsity Beach Volleyball. It's amazing what FanDuel lets you put money on. But enough talk. Find that Ignis, or else.
Don't worry, my lipless friends. I have a plan.
Well, well, well. Look who's come crawling back.
Emma, I have an assignment for you.
An assignment? What is this? Homework? Listen, buddy, we don't have a teacher-student thing going on here. You don't strike me as a superintendent.
And what do I strike you as?
A sugar daddy. Fork over a few of those bags with dollar signs on them and I can get you a playmaker.
Fine.
Here we stand, on the precipice of it all.
Indeed.
Has Spectre been in here recently? It smells awful.
Indeed.
Soul Technologies is placing a trap for Playmaker.
How fortunate. The head of Soul Technologies and the Ignis in the same room.
You know what you must do. But first, get some Febreze in here or something. My God.
Oh, Playmaker, come out and play.
So, obviously that's not Blue Angel.
Because she's still comatose after Yusaku stabbed her. The Hanoi infected her.
So what's the plan?
Well, I figured I'd spring the trap. And why would you walk directly under this box propped up by a stick? Listen, so far the Hanois sent a guy with a Vanilla 2 tribute monster and a couple of one-tricks who couldn't link their way to Yahoo. I figure whatever they've got waiting for me, I'm just a few replays of that circuit footage away from what they're hiding. So what's the gimmick here? You're some kind of gay clown dressed up as Blue Angel. Let's just get this over with so I can— Oh!
You've been spending too much time with the riffraff. We're not dueling. I'm just gonna kill you. Akira, that's your cue.
I'd appreciate if you didn't use my real name.
And I'd appreciate a tip.
Akira? What do you want with me? I want to know what you did. Sky is in a coma. Well, it wasn't my fault. It was the Hanoi. Well, it certainly wasn't helped by slicing her in half while in freefall. I told you. So if you don't mind, I'll be killing you and taking that AI back to Soul Technologies where it belongs. I disagree. Excuse me, we are in the middle of something. No, you aren't. Now, let's talk about the Ignis.
All right, you know. Oh, it was Spencer. Oh, okay.
Oh
I didn't realize that was Spencer's channel. I didn't realize that was Spencer's channel. Okay, it was Spencer. Okay, now that makes a lot more sense. You know, honestly, considering how much I hate parody, that could have been a lot worse. There was actually, like, I would say like half of the jokes landed for me. Maybe half. So, not bad. Could have been a lot worse. All right, it's ad break time. I'll see you in a second.
a monster marathon. Now all in one gigantic show. 3 of the newest and most exciting monster hits, starring Earth champion and protector Godzilla. First, thrill the Godzilla on Monster Island with more monsters than have ever appeared on the screen at one time. Then it's the action-packed Godzilla versus the Cosmic Monster. And finally, the classic Godzilla versus Megalon. All 3 in one colossal show. Rated G.
All right, we're back. Hey Kai, where did you see that he was looking for people? Because I looked on Twitter and Blue Sky and I didn't see any posts about it. Am I gonna have to DM him? All right, so what we're gonna do for the rest of the stream today is talk about Genesis format. Rather, watch videos of people talking about Genesis format and then talk over them. The cool thing about doing React stuff like this is that I get to watch people say things I disagree with and then pause them and then disagree with them, and they can't say anything back to me. It's really neat. The ultimate debate method. But no, I thought it would be interesting to go through this video and these reacts to the points list and talk about it. So this video was made in reaction to Coder and Farfa being really anti-Genesis format, whereas MBT, Peeps, and Doug are very pro-Genesis format. I personally have a much more mixed opinion on Genesis format. I think it's more fun than advanced, generally speaking. But I think it still has some problems that I'd like to see fixed. And the biggest problem for me is just the philosophy of it. And you can say that, you know, advanced format also has a bad, you know, ban list philosophy. It has a bad philosophy of how they design cards and all that stuff. But that's fine. I don't know. Like that's bad too, right? Like I don't know why I can't hope for better from Genesis format while also acknowledging that Advanced should do better as well. But I want to see what this video is going to be talking about.
Episode of
So
Will of the Council.
I almost
I'm
did that
here
bit.
with-
I almost did that bit. I was like, I don't want to make Doug mad, but I almost did the bit.
I'm talking over you to do the intro. I'm here with 2 Genesis
Good.
gamers.
Sometimes when you got too many people who like to do bits, you have to do the "I'm talking over you, shut up."
Peeps YGO and MBT Yugioh. If you are familiar with these 2 people,
Thank you, Crush Cards.
you might know that they play a significant amount of Genesis. Actually, both of you have been playing this format longer than me, and I just kind of wanted to talk about not so much the state of like the actual format, although we will get to that in a little bit, but more so just talking about why you guys play Genesis, why people should play Genesis. This isn't meant to
Konami employee. See, the best part about this one, this video in particular, is that I get to be like, well, Doug's just a Konami employee, and Peeps and MBT are professional contrarians. Every time I disagree with them, and then every time I agree with them, I'm like, well, they're pretty good at Genesis. You should listen to them.
To chastise any TCG players, it's not going to be that type of video. We're more so just talking about, maybe why you should try out Genesis. Does anyone want to start?
Yeah. Why don't I kick it off?
Oh, wait. One more thing.
Yeah.
Farfa, if you're watching,
fuck you.
You don't have to react to this.
That
like
is
it's
not
okay.
true.
Like
They're literally like, Farfa, log off. Farfa, please log off.
If I can make maybe a recommendation here, do not scroll down. If you see like people's profile pictures and then words they've typed underneath this, I would just not do that. I would just keep moving on with your day.
Yeah, definitely.
There's probably something great you can react to on the MBT Yu-Gi-Oh channel.
So to start it off, how did you start playing Genesis format, and what made you continue to play it?
Joseph, do you want me to go first?
It seems like you have something to say, so go for it.
Yeah. I have spent my entire Yu-Gi-Oh!
Peeps likes dog shit decks, and Genesis is a place where you get to play dog shit decks. It's really simple, actually.
Career playing decks that I would assume have a less than 0.01%.
Oh, he's actually saying that. He's literally saying what I said.
And none of those decks have points on them. So that was my start. But in all reality, in my own content, I guess, I've been very vocal about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Has really needed a second modern format, like an alternate modern format, in order for like a lot of those, not even just like
if you don't want a second format that has like but Genesis is weird though, because it's like I agree that a second modern format would be cool, but Genesis is weird in that it is modern but also not modern. It's got a lot of modern card design in there, but it also lacks pendulums and links. It's a weird, again, as we looked at the LC video a couple weeks ago, there's not a consistent design philosophy in Genesis.
the B archetypes from boxes that get released, but just like tech cards that don't really get to see the light of day a lot that I think are really interesting. I think Final Bringer of the End Times.
It is really cool that there's a format where Final Bringer of the End Times is playable.
This is a perfect example of a card that's like super cool, has a lot of gameplay implications, but just never really got to see competitive play. Those cards just don't really get, they didn't get to see the light of day in advance because they're just not that good. And Genesis,
if only they had links, so we could do some cool stuff like Unchained and Final Bringer. That'd be really cool.
Being a second modern format is a place for that. So that's why I started it, and that's why I continue to play it.
Yeah, I'd like to echo most of those things.
At least there's Fire
For
King,
me,
I
coming
suppose.
from a Magic the Gathering background, it's really strange to me how seldom Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are interested in playing anything other than capital A Advanced. I would say probably...
Like at the very end of the day, I hope that Genesis format has at least... And I guess, Time Wizard was doing this to an extent before Konami decided to kill it, and still does in an indie kind of way. But I hope that Genesis format kind of opens people's eyes to the possibilities that lie beyond one main format, right?
A majority of Magic's lifespan has been dominated by people sitting at home and brewing up a format that maybe lasts a week, maybe lasts 15 years, and just playing it with their friends and seeing if it's any fun. Some of the most fun times I ever had playing Magic was when people were tinkering with tiny leaders. If you all remember Horde Magic, I loved when...
Nobody does, Joseph. Nobody remembers these little micro formats you're talking about. Not in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel.
Theros came out and they made the Hydra deck. That was super cool. Plane Chase, Arch Enemy, and of course Commander, which has now supplanted good Magic as the fundamental way to play the game. Started as a bunch of guys sitting around jacking off. Yu-Gi-Oh! For some reason just doesn't have that same
I think that's true.
History. Historically, I guess the only things that have caught on have been retro formats that are just advanced at a different point in time. And I guess I would say like New Geo Trinity format, like formats that are enjoyed by like 10 to 15 people max ever. I was thrilled to see one that had kind of institutional support behind it, because I think that that's what is
necessary to get people to try it and then maybe branch out from
the
there.
difference maker for Yu-Gi-Oh players, if it's going to be supported. And I was very thrilled to see that it was taking notes from one of the greatest Magic formats of all time, Canadian Highlander. The point system is, I would say, probably inspired by Canlander, though it is different.
They'll never know.
Really
they'll never tell you if it was, but yeah, probably.
I have, of course, enjoyed brewing and playing Genesis format just as something other than advanced to do, but the thing that's kept me with it is I feel a significant amount of games in the TCG are decided based on non-engine. This is kind of a result of the fact that going first is so good, engines are so all-inclusive that the only things that can beat them are these like all-encompassing going second tools or hand traps that functionally say end the turn.
Silver
I feel
bullet type cards.
Right. I feel like
And there's no silver bullets in Genesis format, right? Surely there's not any silver bullets in Genesis format, right?
Especially post-board, but even
surely there's
pre-board, a lot
none.
of cards like
Surely
Roll
there's
and
not
Lock
any
for
silver
determining
bullets in
outcomes of games
Genesis
more often
format.
than, like engine v engine. For me, the fundamental difference between Genesis gameplay and TCG gameplay is so much more often I feel like you are butting heads against each other with engine in Genesis. And
more often,
I really,
certainly. I don't know if I'd say
that
so
type
much
of
more
gameplay.
often,
I
but
think
more
it
often.
rewards people who have kind of a breadth of understanding, as I do, of like.
But that also means that the games where you run into the game was won by a non-engine feel even worse.
Card archetypes and what different decks are capable of doing, as well as a mastery over.
Because I feel like the balance hasn't yet been established yet, where non-engine is at a point, and maybe this new ban list, maybe this new points list will get us closer to this. But I feel like the balance hasn't yet been established yet, where non-engine can't just win a game all on its own, right?
Their own deck, rather than how their deck.
And
might
so when
interact,
you do
in a situation
have that
where
kind
your
of thing
opponent
happen,
does Fulos
it
or
feels
Troll
even
and
worse.
Offer. That kind of gameplay
because
is
this
a
is the
lot
format
more
where it's not
exciting
supposed to
for me,
happen.
And as a result, I've honestly been playing almost exclusively.
And you're not like expecting it going in. When you go into advanced, you expect to lose to non-engine, right? Like you expect to lose to just like a bunch of non-engine you couldn't possibly play around. When you go into Genesis format, you don't necessarily expect that. And then when it happens, you're like, oh, all right. Like, for instance, Skullmeister. Weirdly enough, Skullmeister's a terrible card. Absolutely awful card. It is still a negate, and if your deck is very fragile when it comes to the graveyard, for instance, let's say you need Misk to resolve. You spent 67 points on Misk. You come in, you activate Misk, you get Skullmeistered, and now your game plan is falling apart. What do? You feel bad, is what you do. You go,
Genesis for
damn,
2 or 3 months.
I got completely hosed by non-engine.
Now
and you can't say that Misk isn't a viable deck, because you can look at the top 16 from YCS Columbus and see a deck running Misk. It's the Jurak GMX deck, which is really fucking cool, by the way. If you haven't checked out that deck profile, absolutely do. I will say that deck can do a little something. If your Misk gets negated, what you can do is you can end on Jurak Astero, the synchro monster, which isn't awful. It's not terrible, but it's not great.
I've been playing
rip
more
to Simo.
Yu-Gi-Oh
It's
than I
really
have been
unfortunate.
playing in maybe a decade as a result.
We did a tribute at the
Okay,
beginning of the stream.
I think you guys made a ton of great points. I'm going to piggyback off of that just a little bit. As a lot of people know, I kind of took a break from.
Like I still want to say I am absolutely in favor of Genesis format. I like Genesis format more than Advanced. I play more Genesis format than I do Advanced at this point. Like, I can count the number of Advanced games I've had on my hand, and Genesis I can't. Like, that's that much more. I just think there are still problems with it that need to be fine-tuned. And I find that because Advanced format players are so negative towards Genesis format defenders get really touchy about it. So you can't criticize things about it with them, or else you're tearing down Genesis format. And I'm like, no, man, I like Genesis format. I like it a lot. I love Genesis format even. I would go that far. I think Genesis format is one of the best ideas Konami has had in a long fucking time. but there's still problems.
The competitive TCG when Snake Eyes format went into full effect. with the
As
release
did
of
many.
Poplar.
As did many.
Yeah, a lot of people did. Which is weird because
People get into these there's a lot of toxic negativity in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, but in response to that, there's a lot of toxic positivity as well. Just fucking be fucking for real. Be fucking for real. Let's just talk about shit, right? We don't need to be weird about it. We don't need to be fucking weird and toxic about it. Let's just talk about the real realities of Genesis format, which is a really cool idea, really fun stuff happening in it. Honestly, a pretty fun format so far. Really wide open. But there's fundamental design flaws, particularly in the way they treat the points list, where it is entirely based, well, not entirely, but mostly based on data. And we could talk about all that, but
Joseph and I traveled to a whole bunch of YCSs the year before that. We were in Cancun. We were in all over. International YCSs. I was really into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh and grinding for YCSs, and yeah, that had been my life for a very long time. But I just couldn't quite take it anymore. I'm not going to sit here and talk about Snake Eyes too much, but it was very difficult for me to find joy playing the competitive TCG. It just got to a point where it seemed like everything was a one-card starter. It was just comparing hands, basically.
there's still one-card starters in Genesis format.
Etc. etc. So I took a long break playing sealed series, that kind of stuff.
Because we keep letting the third best deck of every set be in the format, mostly unhit.
Had a lot of fun, but truly I do miss playing Yu-Gi-Oh in real life, or I had missed playing Yu-Gi-Oh in real life. I experimented with older formats like Edison, and I do like Edison, and I don't want to piss off the Edison community because I know they're very vigilant about their
See, the same thing happened with Edison format too. You can't criticize Edison format because Konami shit all over it. And so now they're super uber defensive about it. Just stop, man. Not everything is an attack on you. Just because you like something and someone criticizes that thing doesn't mean it's a fucking attack on you. They're just criticizing the thing that you like.
Not to step on your toes here, but the Edison Genesis dichotomy I think is so totally false. I get Edison players that are upset that it kind of supplanted it at the Konami level, but I think all of us can say we like Edison a great deal.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I two Edison decks still.
Yeah.
I have
just
20.
chilling in my closet.
Yeah, MBT has a shit ton.
It's a good format.
But as you were saying.
But I will say that one thing,
it doesn't have the stuff that modern Yu-Gi-Oh has, and I like modern Yu-Gi-Oh.
Thing that I noticed trying to get back into the game, actually, Peeps in this call right now helped me by giving me a Draco Tail deck, and I had fun at a couple locals with it, and I did, but it seemed very daunting going to a larger tournament. I felt so behind, because the thing about getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh is that it's not just that I had to learn the Jush archetypes. It was that I had to learn Ryziel and what the Mitsurugi cards did, or Malice and stuff like that. You're playing 2 years of catch up because.
Yeah, this is actually one interesting thing about Genesis format that Genesis format has from Advanced, is that Genesis format hasn't been solved nearly as much as Advanced has. So the field of available decks is wide open. So kind of you can come in with less knowledge about what your opponent is playing than you can in Advanced. In Advanced, if you want to do well in Advanced format, you have to know what you're going to expect to be seeing. You have to know, Mitsurugi. You have to know, fucking the Jush format cards, right? You have to know Cool Tune. You have to know what every single card does and what every single card gets and what those cards do, right? Which is all information you can't get in a duel. All you have is the cards that you see in front of you. So you see one Cool Tune card. A good player who wants to do well has to know what every single card that comes off of that one card is and what they do, right? In Genesis format, there's so many fucking decks out there, you don't really have to know all of them, right? Because nobody knows all of them. So it's a little bit more open like that. And, people who do know a lot of them can do better. But it really helps like open that up a bit more, which I appreciate.
You will play against modern
it opens
decks
that
at a
skill
tournament,
gap.
not just the ones that
That
are like
knowledge gap, I should say.
brand new, but ones that have released in the past couple of years. That was very challenging adjusting to, and the combos were long, typical boomer complaints. So I didn't really stick with it. And I didn't really go to too many events. I didn't go to any regionals, despite them being close to me, unlike in the past where I was driving 2, 3, 4 hours to a regional. Then I started playing Genesis format,
where he could play his favorite deck. I mean, part of it is if I do think part of it is if your favorite deck, if your pet deck is playable in Genesis format, you will have a better time than someone whose pet deck is not playable in Genesis format.
A little bit, because
that is a little bit a part of it.
A good pet deck of mine.
Martha's not a one-card starter when Doug plays it. True.
Playable in the TCG, it quickly, went to the wayside. Not even like a rogue deck anymore. Where Genesis, it was doing pretty good, and I think that that really is what made me want to play Genesis. I wanted to play Exo Sisters.
Like, we've had one-card combos since fucking Alistair the Invoker. I mean, arguably, you could say that Sangan's a one-card combo, but then you're stretching things quite a bit. Like, what does a combo mean, right?
But what I found was the gameplay was really good. I went to a number of locals, and it was that we have a really nice little community at the locals that Jordan and I go to. Of just like
we're really blessed by that. Yeah.
That's the problem for me about Genesis. That's like a big problem for me about Genesis format. I don't have a locals. I have to play online. I have to play on fucking Dueling Nexus because there's nobody playing on Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega. And the players on Dueling Nexus, they're not sending their best.
Genesis players. And the games were very back and
But I think in general this is the case. A lot of people don't have locals that run Genesis format. And because of that, the meta around Genesis hasn't really solidified either, so that's why it's so wide open. So it's like it's good and bad in some way. Like, obviously it's bad that people can't play it, but it's also like interesting how it's opened up the format so much. I don't know.
People that were playing.
I just have a lot of thoughts about Genesis format in general. That's not even a complaint. That's just like a
really
interesting
going
thing I've noted.
home and being like, man, I feel that spark again. I really do enjoy playing the format and playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I know that people meme about the, today's cards, yesterday's gameplay, but it really did feel like the end of 2023 for me, where there were powerful strategies, there were combos, but it wasn't like as crazy.
End of 2023 might be exactly what it is. Yeah, if you're thinking of yesterday as end of 2023, that kind of does vibe,
as
right?
The TCG,
a little
I like
bit.
That a lot. And it's
obviously there's still stuff like Cool Tune that feel totally alien to that. But luckily they hit it finally. They hit it finally enough to where to the point I think it won't be in the format
been
really
a lot
much
easier
anymore.
for me to get back into this without having to deal with.
So that's the problem with Genesis is because it is a modern format. It continues in like getting new cards into it. The new cards are designed with advanced in mind, and these powerful cards are going to shape the format unless you hit them, and they don't want to hit them because you want you to buy them.
Harakiri and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of why I stuck with it. I did want to ask you guys though, if anyone's listening here that hasn't played Genesis, how would you help them get into it? What would you tell them? Because one of the things that I think is really important about Genesis, and we'll talk about maybe more meta strategies in a little bit here, but I think there is not a better format for playing pet decks. I feel like
unless your pet deck isn't allowed in the game. If your pet deck is a Link deck, if your pet deck is Salamangreat, if your pet deck is Pendulum Magicians, if your pet deck is Nimlaria. Nimlaria is a classic pet deck. Can't play that.
At the YCS, I played against a different deck almost every single round. I played against Madol.
Or, if your pet deck is one of the decks that they've decided to just super punish for no reason while letting Cool Tune run amok, like Crystron. Sword Soul. They luckily have reduced the points on Sword Soul and Crystron recently, but I don't think they've lowered them enough. aggressively cautious, they say, but I feel like they still could go further. I just don't think Sword Soul is that fucking good compared to shit like Cool Tune. Like what was for like several months. They allowed Cool Tune to be at almost full power for several months, and they're worried about Sword Soul.
On day 2, like, you can play your pet deck for the most part, and I think that's a big selling point
for the most
me
part.
if I'm talking to anyone.
Also, like dinosaurs, obviously. I guess dinosaurs, for me, the obvious answer would be dinosaurs. Speedroid too. Speedroid has some really important pendulum cards that didn't need to be fucking pendulums for any goddamn reason, but they're pendulums, so I can't play them. My fucking dinosaur decks would love to play, but Misk is 6-7 points.
What kind of things would you guys say?
Yeah, I guess I would say I'd agree with that for sure. I think that there is not a better place to play a pet deck. I think a lot of that has to do, again, with the unavailability of powerful non-engine. In the TCG, I know when you're making your deck, from the get, you kind of have to have a plan for, like, what does this deck do under Droll? What does this deck do under XYZ lock that, like...
By the way, if you don't have a plan for what your deck does under Droll in Genesis format, I think you're a fool. Not a lot of decks aren't going to have Droll, but some decks will, and you should have a plan for it.
These decks are going for. Does this deck have game against like a common
it's not gonna be a lot,
non-engine,
but you will run into them.
Like Fuelos. And in Genesis, frequently you just won't encounter it. It is
and you'll run into Fuelos. You will run into Fuelos.
Because often you will be allowed to just do your game plan and then like wield it. And I know a lot of people kind of get frustrated that there
Fuelos
are
isn't that
like,
many
individual
points.
cards printed in Yu-Gi-Oh that shut down a lot of their game plan, especially for decks printed before 2016. They
like that one was like in a ton of decks, wasn't it? I seem to remember it being in a bunch. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. The Red Dragon Archfiends, yeah, Fuelos right here. You're gonna run into Fuelos. Top deck, winning deck had Fuelos in it. Radiant Typhoon didn't, but you know, we like quick play spells. The Voiceless Voice might have had too much stuff in it. This one's 2D points now? Oh, because the Illusion Gate, right. I was about to say, they didn't give points to Voiceless Voice, did they? Fuelos in the other RDA deck. Both RDA decks on Fuelos. Not in the Mimighoul deck. That kind of makes sense. Funny that the Leerlisk engine in Mimighoul is really funny, actually. This deck is fucking insane. Did you see this deck? What the fuck is this? Doom Z pile. It's got the magnet shit. It's got the surfacing big jaw. It's got the miracle ejector. Just the fucking stuff, dude. Just fucking stuff. Cool Tune probably doesn't have it. Yeah, it's got the Heralds instead. Glad they pointed the Heralds. I'm so glad they pointed the Heralds. I think it's exactly the right points for them, too. Radiant Typhoon probably wouldn't have it. Hop Your Squadron, that's so funny. I don't think the GMX one was on it, because all our points are in fucking this fucker right here. Wait, no, they were still on the Fuelos. God damn, they were still on Fuelos, too. So yeah, plenty of Fuelos.
Have like a real problem with Ash Blossom, for instance. Clown Crew is a deck that in the TCG is almost uniquely gate-kept from the format by the existence of Ash Blossom, because it is so fundamentally bad into that card. In Genesis, these like exceptionally commonly played
I will
cards
say
just
Ash
aren't
Blossom
as
you're not
commonly
likely
played,
to see
and
in
as a result,
Genesis.
you just get to your game plan almost always. So if you've got a deck you think you are the best at in the world, you very much can like wield that strength the way, let's say, like a branded player would in the TCG. A great example of that is Dwayne, I think, has topped all 3 of the Genesis YCSs so far.
Yes, he has.
With an Onomat deck. It's been like maybe a different flavor of Onomat every time, but when it comes to making rank 4s, like that is the best guy in the world. And
Yeah.
every like if you look at his list,
They're trying to kill him.
every format he is able to find like an interesting, innovative, fresh, but extremely
They're
powerful
slowly
way to wield
whack-a-moling all the
cards.
rank
He
4
is better at
engines.
playing than anyone else, and he's reaped rewards for it. So if that's something you think you could do, this is definitely the format for you.
I'll talk about. I know we're probably going to get into a section where we talk about like common
bye,
criticisms of
Joseph.
the Genesys. So sorry if I'm jumping ahead of the previews here in the movie theater, but a common complaint for
Zuchi, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone.
Great place to play your pet deck. Well,
We're watching Peeps, Doug, and Joseph, who just left, talk about Genesis format here. We're disagreeing with them. We're agreeing with them. We're trying to be a little nuanced. I love my nuance. I love my nuance. We're being a little nuanced here in the Genesis discussion. How you doing? How was stream? Game development? What were you working on? I know what game you're working on. What were you working on for the game? I love MBT, especially with how transparent he is. Yeah, he's very transparent. He's always telling you what he's sponsored.
it's like, well, my pet deck is Valmonica, and I can't play that. Right.
Correct.
And that's fair.
Coding in nature
there
creatures?
are
Hell
decks
yeah.
that just aren't playable in this format because of the non-existence of links and pendulums. But
Yep. Okay. He said but, though. Damn,
a
he
lot
said
of
but.
people do say things like, well, my pet deck is Nouvelle and I can't play that. And that's where I go, actually, there are some Nouvelle decks that have like done well in Genesis Weeklies that get
Okay.
hosted in like the Genesis Discord.
They'll just look different. Like they'll look different.
Like you do.
They'll look fundamentally different from the deck you enjoy.
Everyone,
Astronautlux. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Hi. We're talking about Genesis format. We're watching a video by Doug, Peeps, and MBT talking about Genesis format. We're trying to be a little more nuanced with it. We're disagreeing with some of their takes, agreeing with some of their takes. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a good stream. What were you doing? Let me see if I can find out. What did it say? Genshin Impact. Of course. Astro loves hearing about Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that was not sarcastic, because that's what I'm about to play on.
Do just get to play decks in really interesting ways. Like my favorite thing that I've been doing in this
Can't hear anything right now.
So
Oopsie.
far is taking archetypes like Flame Swordsman or ABC and then finding weird niche situations that like mesh with each other.
Hi there.
And mixing it with another archetype. Like I'm prepping for Nats with Chaos Origin. And a deck that I have prepped as like a top 3 contender for that format is this BES ABC XYZ deck, because Union Activation can search BES Derringer Core. Like there's
X was a big card gamer. Sometimes that happens. I know we're kind of hard to deal with. Ramble to Astro regularly. Hell yeah.
these really cool archetypal, just bizarre bridges and synergies that you can play, that you can do in this format and leverage interesting, just like card interactions in this format that would never be viable in advanced. But there's awesome stuff you can do in this format that is just like way yet to be explored. And just because,
but I don't think this is a good rebuttal to someone saying that my pet deck can't be played here.
Links and pendulums don't exist certainly does not mean that a deck is just bar none unplayable because some tools in its arsenal are not allowed in the format.
I mean, I'll talk about the
Peeps like the machine
links and
deck.
pendulums
True.
a little bit, because I think that, you know, that is
MBT's
one
back.
of the more common complaints. I don't know. I mean, there's a couple common complaints, but I do see people saying like,
I play a
"Oh,
link
you know,
deck. I don't
can't-"
get to play it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it, you know, my I'm not trying to be antagonistic. My response really is though, like, cry about it.
What an interesting thing to say. What an interesting thing to say. Cry about it. Huh. But when they do, you make an hour-long video when they do cry about it, you cry about it. Interesting. And yet you're crying about it? The issue with the idea of pet decks is what level do you enjoy the deck? Exactly. That's exactly what it is. The issue is literally like, how do you enjoy the pet deck? Do you enjoy the blorbos on the cards, or do you enjoy the gameplay style? If you enjoy the blorbos on the cards, yeah, you can mess around with them in a different way. If you enjoy the play style, I love fucking cry about it though. That's so fucking stupid. Remember what I was saying earlier about toxic negativity and toxic positivity kind of butting heads against each other in the Yu-Gi-Oh community? This is what I'm talking about.
And the reason that I say that is because it sort of reminds me of in Master Saga before we did the Legacy Pack crafts, how people would say like, oh man, there's so many decks that you can't play because there's no Legacy crafts. And in reality, it was like Megalith, which wasn't true because you could play it without
I was like,
the crafts.
I went like 8-0 by not playing Legacy
like,
cards.
Shadolls, right? Because Hedgehog is in the Legacy packs, and it's like, once again, a strategy that has been playable without it. People would say Gladiator Beast. Turns out that pack is just dog shit, regardless of if you have Legacy packs. And I think that Genesis format is kind of in the same spot. I think Links probably affect more rogue decks than, the Pendulum thing. Who the fuck plays
Oh
pendulums?
my god.
But I think that it's
Stop putting Triff in
incredibly
videos
important for this deck to feel like it's a different beast. People always make fun of it and say it's just, TCG.
It is fine if Genesis format doesn't have pendulums and links, but it is also fine for people to not like it because it doesn't have pendulums and links. I don't know why we have to make it an issue.
Light or whatever, it's going to play the same. But even when you see decks pop up that see play in both formats, and they do play differently, not all the time. Obviously Cool Tune is going to be pretty similar to how it plays in the TCG, but
Perhaps it shouldn't have been unpointed.
I think for a lot of players, not having links or pendulums to a smaller degree is actually a selling point. And one of the
Unfortunately, it is. I think those people are, little babies, but they're allowed to have that opinion, just like people are allowed to have the opinion that not having pendulums and links is like an anti-selling point for them. A Cool 2 was pointed just on enough. I mean, it was very slightly pointed when it first came out. Yes, it had like one card had 3 points on it.
Reasons why the format feels so different. I don't know if you guys have encountered this, but it's like it kind of feels like it used to pre-links, where if your opponent is stuck with mismatching levels, that they can't just make an SP. If your opponent is stuck with, no future.
You could also fix this by pointing SP. Did you know that there's a point system in this game where you can point cards that you don't want to see in the format?
Can't just do crazy shit. And I think that I've really been enjoying that because it does remind me of even earlier Link moments where nowadays it just feels like if you leave your opponent with a monster, they can just make a Link 1 that searches the field spell, blah, 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 boomer complaints. So I really...
Like, as long as you... I hate... This is such a frustrating line of thinking because I don't hate the idea of a format that doesn't have pendulums and links necessarily. It's fine if that's the design goal. But the argument that like they have to do it because links are too strong is just very strange to me, considering they have a way to deal with cards that are too strong.
Really have liked the lack of link monsters, and I think it's one of the biggest things.
Like, if you want to point every single fucking nightmare cards, if you want to point every single generic link, I think like if someone out there wants to make their own fan format of Genesis format but with links and pendulums, I think the first thing you got to do is put like 10 to 15 points on every single generic link monster, pretty much. Obviously, some of them will need more than others, but I think that's a reasonable place to be at. Now, I think the good argument about this is that doing that would make a absolutely colossal points list. The amount of points you would have to put on link monsters to make them balanced in the way Genesis format wants them to be balanced would be a huge list. But that's not what Doug is saying. He's making a stupid argument instead of a good argument.
Things that sets apart the two formats on a gameplay basis. Obviously, from a deck building basis, it's all about the points, but specifically from playing the games in Genesis format.
He's making an argument that's very easily argued against, I should say. It's not stupid. It's an argument that has very easy holes for people to poke into, as opposed to an argument that is a little bit more steel-manned, I suppose. He's essentially creating his own straw man, is what I'm trying to say.
I notice and like the absence of links. Not that I think links are terrible in general.
I'm trying to be
Obviously,
nicer.
I like decks that play links, but I do think that it's a good change to not have those two things in there, even if some fan favorite rogue decks do get caught, in the crossfire.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that
He's not.
with respect to Pendulum, I think that is kind of the indefensible one. It exists almost specifically, I think, to hedge.
Well, the problem with links to me is that if you don't have, pendulum, if you don't have links, then how the fuck do you handle pendulums? And you can do the stuff they did in Duel Links, but I think the Duel Links solution is imperfect as well. So you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like those situations where it's like, we rather just get rid of the pendulums that a lot of people don't like. Like, even there's a lot of people who like links who don't like pendulums. So they're like, we'll get rid of the most unpopular summoning mechanic of all time because we don't have a way to really make it work when we're getting rid of link monsters as well, right?
The Pandalhams are still in the format. I'm not taking a look at it. And I think it does prevent a number of interesting strategies from making it into the game. Abyss Actor, of course, is a favorite of mine that I think would be perfectly suited for Genesis. Aneacraft is a new deck that is basically floodgating people in the TCG. Could theoretically do something else in
could be really cool in Genesis format, but it literally cannot exist in Genesis format. You can say all you want about like, you can use fucking whatever your bullshit as an engine in another deck. There's no way to make Aneacraft work in Genesis format.
Able to because of no pendulums. I think that sucks, but I'm not going to defend every single decision that they've made when developing Genesis. I think a lack of links is and
I don't think you should have to be like, this is I'm going to go on the other side here. I'll go to the other side here. I don't think that people who enjoy Genesis format should have to defend every stupid design decision that Konami made when making Genesis format. It's just, so I think you should be able to just be like, I enjoy it, and people should accept that. But you can't do that because then you're losing the war or some stupid bullshit. It's very strange. I don't like the way people talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Online.
Unquestionable good for the format. I think that it prevents a scenario in which every deck has the capacity to kind of delve into link slop, which of course is, checked by making powerful non-link monsters for other decks. I wouldn't say that Branded, for instance, is a link slop deck in the TCG, but the fact that it's specifically designed, Genesis is, to enable rogue decks to compete. If links were legal, every deck that can spam monsters, which is most of them, would have to compete with using those monsters for generic link tools rather
unless you pointed those.
Then it's like game plan. And I think that would reduce a lot of really interesting strategies down to feeling very samey.
And that's possible, Tack. I don't know that it is likely to happen, but it could happen. And so I understand the defense side much more. I just wish they would use better arguments. But yeah, no, I really, really don't get the people who hate on it very hard. Like, I have my problems with Genesis, but I always make sure to include, I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I was doing TMTs in like 2020, 2021.
I like it more than Advanced.
2018 and 2019.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, keep going. Sorry.
Wow. It was really difficult not for an N board of a rogue deck to not resemble the end board of a meta deck using generic staples. I mean, you can ask Pendulum players all through the early 20s how many of their boards were Appaloosa Baron, you know? And I am happy that a lack of links
You know Baron is in Genesis format, right?
means that you have to go for less
It's
generic
85
options
points,
as
I
part of
believe.
end boards, and I think it's facilitated
Which is what you could do to Appaloosa as well.
some really interesting situations like you've described, Doug, where like, oh my god, I'm left with the wrong guys in the wrong zones. What do I do?
Like, I'm sorry. To say that Link monsters are full of like these slop end board pieces is to ignore the fact that every summoning mechanic has this now. I guess maybe not fusions. I don't really know if there's much generic fusion slot engine board end board pieces anymore, or right currently. Because usually the ones that are super powerful have like specific materials that require you to play specific decks. But like synchros have so many bullshit ass monsters they can just shit out. Ixie's monsters are a little bit more balanced on that, but like they still have utopic F-Zero. I think it's a more interesting restriction than I have the most generic extra deck options as the first thing to gravitate to, and that's fine. I think that would be a better argument than what they're saying here. Like, I think legitimately just saying it's more interesting to not have pendulums and link monsters is legitimately a much better argument than what they're making here. I mean, I'd say that, you know, Ixies and Synchros are not like super ungeneric, but they're certainly less generic than a Link 2, right? A Link 2 with generic materials. But again, links, you know, generic links, I think if you were to import them into Genesis format, you would be able to box out generics by pointing them. That's like the entire point of the points list, is boxing out stupid stuff you don't want to be in the format via the points. But like I said earlier, if you do that, you make a list that's 1,000 miles long. It's just too many things to consider. So the easier thing is to remove links. Good argument. I like that. That's a fine argument for not including links. That's why I'm not super upset about pendulums or links. I just think the arguments they are making here are going to... Let's just look at the comments. Let's just see. Lots of people just saying they like it. You scrolled down. Oh no, I did. Never been convinced of Genesis being a pet deck format. Doesn't have to be. Okay, sure. Really disappointed about the exclusion of pendulum and links. Trying to see if there's anyone actually pointing this out. Yeah, Chimera would be the only like generic confusion, and they did lower the points on Chimera recently. Sure. Okay. I don't see anything about that. So maybe people just aren't like even thinking about that. Again, I don't have a problem with removing pendulums and links. I have a problem with the specific argument they are making, because there's a very easy answer to it, which is just point the things you don't want to be in the format, right? It is so fucking simple. There's a very simple counter argument. Just point them. But like I said, the counter is like pretty unassailable. Like you can't have. I mean, the list is already super long. I guess the counter would be the list is already super long. What are we doing, right? The list is already so fucking long. You must realize you think better than the average Yu-Gi-Oh! Plot watcher. I don't like to say it. I don't like to think that way.
you don't just have a tool in your extra that's like, oops, I guess I didn't fuck up.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I also think that a lot of people who are whining about their Link deck not being playable, one, are whining about a deck that's not playable in the TCG. So sorry, like no X deck.
But you said it's the format for pet deckers. You can't. Okay.
Deck that plays Links is not going to be playable in main format or Genesis. I apologize. But two, are not thinking hard enough. Like, Peeps, I'm sure you will have a lot to say about this, but a lot of the people who want to port their deck into Genesis are willing to take their existing deck in Advanced and put it into Genesis. And if that doesn't work, they're like, I can't play the format. Genesis is a deck-building exercise, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Players...
That is true. That one line there is 100% true. It's a deck-building exercise, which is why a lot of people who are really into deck building really like it.
Generally do not interact with deck building. This is like a weird thing to say, but largely they settle on a deck, usually from like a video from like a top player.
Well, deck building takes time. It takes time, and it takes testing time. Like, it takes time to put it together, but it also takes time to test it and make sure that everything is working together correctly. I get why some people don't like deck building, right?
And then they make kind of minute changes around the periphery. They are not willing to really rethink the gameplay.
It doesn't change the fact that, yeah, they aren't willing to. But I think some decks
instance,
literally
I see
can't
a lot
be.
Of people who are like, I can't play Evil Twin, which is my favorite deck of all time.
Well, that's true. You can't play Evil Twin. You can play Live Twin, but you can't play Evil. There's one main deck Evil Twin monster. There is one main deck Evil Twin monster you could play.
So I can't engage with this format. I lost in a side event to an individual playing Evil Twin as an engine in Sprite.
Okay, but wait, I can't. I was about to say, you understand that's not the same as playing Evil Twin, right? But I just realized I'm talking to the man who called it a Ghost Trick deck, right? I'm talking to the Ghost Trick man. I'm talking to the Ghost Trick man.
It's like,
oh my god, those cards are broken.
Yeah, it's
I summon a mannequin cat. I know that it has like a
no.
I hear that's okay. Yeah, no, but they were. I mean, Jordan, you can talk about this because you knew someone who was doing it. But they were doing fun stuff like going normal, kiss a kill, chain econ, take your guy, summon Leela, trigger Leela. It was like, oh my god,
it wouldn't be take your guy. It wasn't econ because then it wouldn't trigger. It's chain. It's activate Signet Crosswipe because it triggers
Final Bringer.
Yeah.
And then when you summon the other guy, the other Live Twin, it will trigger.
So this is true? Well, you have to understand this is Genesis format. It is pretty powerful in Genesis format. Final Bringer of the End Times is a powerful card. That is a bad Final Bringer of the End Times. Well, it's not a bad final. It's like a conditional final. It's basically Final Bringer of the End Times. It's like close enough. But the problem is again, it's the issue we were talking about earlier. It's Blorbos versus playstyle. If you like the playstyle of Live Twin, that's not Live Twin. If you like the Blorbos, when you're losing half of your Blorbos, but you get to play the other half of your Blorbos, right? So this is just two entirely different definitions. That's why there's such conflict here. We're operating on two entirely different definitions of what that deck is, right? Is the deck the cards, or is the deck in its entirety? We're operating on different definitions. So stop yelling at people is basically what I've got to say. Maybe stop yelling at people for having opinions. But of course, here I am yelling at them for having these opinions, so I'm not really much better.
Because you don't control another monster, so you can still summon the other one and then do full Sprite combo.
And they were playing this like this blind second deck with all these powerful tools like Final Bringer, like Signet Crosswipe, and they could.
So you just said the same card twice, basically. No, I'm kidding.
Like 4 Evil Twins using these quick plays to pick apart a board just to go Gigantic Sprite, now you can't nib me, Blue Jet, Gamma Burst, you're dead. And like I lost to that. Like it was fucking cool. Like just you're gonna have to think a little bit outside the box, but I promise you, with very few exceptions, your favorite cards are playable in this format.
You see how you said cards? instead of deck. You said cards instead of deck there. Interesting choice.
You yelled at someone on Twitter. You gave someone advice on Twitter who was feeling similarly.
Said the quiet part out loud.
About the Face Night cards, for instance, and I really liked what you did with that. I think
these cards are actually broken. By the way,
I legitimately think it is an exercise that you will have to engage with as a deck builder, and you will find totally rewarding.
You will find some really cool shit in Genesis. I do not walk away from this misunderstanding. You will find incredibly cool synergies and shit and uses for cards you have never thought of in Genesis format. I just don't think that's the same as a Live Twin fan who loves playing maybe Live Twin Fiendsmith coming to you and saying, well, I can't play my favorite deck in Genesis format. I just don't think it's the same. Like, I'm sorry. They're not going to enjoy that. Because it's just different.
There's nothing like...
What's he going to say about RB? He's not, is the answer to your
not
question. He's not going to say shit.
To competitive success. It feels so good.
Although you could probably do some cool stuff with RB outside of the links, I imagine, right? They have some just like guys you can put on the field, maybe do some like Ixies plays with the high level monsters.
And you can go activate Primite Roar.
Do they have to be summoned to a link zone?
Face card fusion for a dude that searches Izu.
But you can't do your fundamental game plan. No, certainly
Drill
not.
Beam. Like, I'm sorry. There are things you can do in this format that you will have to sit down in front of a deck builder screen and have fun with. And shock.
He said he doesn't like RB anymore.
You will have to have fun deck building, and that's kind of
fair. It did start looking at your opponent's hand, and that's lame.
And I guess I don't know if we're rounding out this point, but I will approach the lack of links with a bit more empathy.
Rounding out,
than cry about it.
Halfway through the video.
But like the lack of links does have like a positive benefit on the format because like it is a sacrifice that does hit some decks that I like, you know. I think a really good example of a deck that's just unplayable in this format that really would have a good place is Plunder Patrol, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Plunder Patrol. Fuck. They really can't.
Like a thing that Plunder Patrol can't play through is a lot of the time is Ash Blossom, you know, and Ash Blossom isn't in Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be a really good environment for it, but there's no pens and there's no links.
Yeah.
So it sucks that Plunder
It's
Patrol...
kind of like a greater good situation.
Yeah, I honestly, it's unfortunate, but I do agree. Because even at the YCS, I was playing Mimighoul, and Mimighoul floods the board super easy, and I would just get in situations where I would have a bunch of stuff on board, I would make an Xyz, and I would bot herder some stuff and take it, I'd mismanage my zones. I'm like, well... I could get really punished here because I don't just have a link monster that I can fart out onto the board and clear up 4 zones, you know?
Such a content creator.
It's a new skill.
Really?
And you get punished
What an
in
interesting
different ways
take.
that I
Your
think
brain is so
super
interesting,
important
Tak.
that the lack of links facilitates.
You know, we keep bringing up the deck building, and I want to talk about that a little bit because the deck building is something, I don't know how you guys felt about it, but it feels very overwhelming when you first get into it because there's a lot of points and a lot of different cards and a lot of different ratios.
The deck building in Genesis is fucking primo. I love it.
I was like, this is really annoying. And then after, honestly, just a couple days, I actually changed my mind completely and found that it is so fun. Like I was staying up at night and thinking about, I mean, like a good example.
I've always been more of a deck builder than a player. I love building decks. Playing is fun, but I love making shit, tinkering and shit. So Genesis was really made for me. I just have like some little issues with the design philosophy of particularly the points list. Really just the point list I have most of an issue with. I really don't have an issue with anything else.
I brought
I just don't like the way they handle that specifically. But otherwise,
I was like, oh, this is really good in Exo Sisters. I've been waiting for this type of card. And then afterwards, I was like, oh, that's a lot of points to spend on a card that's unsearchable. And then I started racking my brain, and I was like, okay, well, I could play Forbidden Crown at 2 for 20 points, or Dominus Purge at 2 for 20 points. Or I could play 2 Ogre, 2 Bell, and 2 Mourner for the same amount of 20 points. And it's just like, the amount of individual points that come up, you know, it's
And like the thing is, like with those kind of decisions, if it's something like really super powerful like Droll, I would honestly probably take the Droll in that instance. But like if it's something like Ash Blossom, which has more points than Droll, you know, that's like, you know, I'll probably take the more interactions than I do take the Ash Blossom, right? Ash Blossom stops one thing, those stop multiple things, just not as solidly as Ash Blossom does. But like something super powerful like Droll, like maybe I'll make that sacrifice. It's really cool. I just wish Droll wasn't, you know, one of the options.
It's all about opportunity cost, which I find very...
The draw list would be a better example for something I'd actually enjoy having an option to be like, oh, that's really powerful. I could swap that, you know.
Interesting. Not that
the draw list
is
like so
is
impactful.
Easy,
you know?
but a lot of the times it's just finding,
not that I can afford the draw list, but you know,
cards and playing 3 copies of all of them. Not to like
as in like literally financially cannot afford.
But you see Genesis,
but I can't play it in person anyway, so who gives a shit?
In 1 copy of Fuwalos, and that looks so weird from an outside perspective, but it kind of does make the games a little bit more interesting. I know Joseph mentioned, and I think this is exactly right, where it feels like when you go first, oftentimes you get to do what you're trying to do.
If you go first, that's the one that is actually, I guess, one problem. And this also comes back down to the points list issues, is that Genesis is still pretty heavily weighted towards first turn. And I've heard some people, I don't know if I agree with this, but I've heard some people say that it's more heavily weighted towards first turn than advanced is. I don't know if I agree with that. I think it's probably closer to less heavily weighted that way, but it is still very heavily weighted for going first.
And that does place some pressure on the points list because you don't want people to be able to do super crazy things. But I think that, you know, that is one thing that I found playing Exosisters in Genesis versus like even when they came out of Master Duel, it's like, man, and you play Master Duel, like the Betrayal gets ashed, or, you know, you get hit by Maxi or Fuwa and it just feels really bad, versus Genesis where normally you get to work with your engine. There are hand traps, but how at least it's supposed to work is that the better your opponent's deck is, the better their engine is, the less generic cards they can play. Now, it's not perfect.
That is how it's supposed to work, isn't it? Yeah.
There are some like real big problems in the format. I'm not going to pretend like it's a perfect format, but
at least we're not doing that.
Generally speaking, that's how it's designed, and I think that also kind of comes up.
I think I agree with these guys more than I don't. I just don't agree with their arguments. I just think they're making bad arguments for this. It's one of those things like, you ever run into someone who believes the same thing as you, but they're saying it in such a way that makes you fucking frustrated because they're arguing about it. They're arguing at your point badly. That's what I kind of feel about this video a little bit.
When we're talking about ban lists and point adjustment lists, where a common complaint that I've seen is that, oh, every point adjustment list, I have to throw my deck in the trash. And I, as someone who's playing a deck that went from like 20 points to like 60 80 points, I don't think that's true. And actually, I think it's, you know, I think it's true in a couple cases. Like I know, you know,
this is also true. You do not have to throw. Maybe Cool Tune might have to like. Cool Tune I think could still be a reasonable rogue strategy even with the point increases. It's just you're gonna have to fucking work for it, which is what you should have been doing from the fucking beginning, in my opinion. But whatever.
You know, there's been some decks, but generally speaking, I think after a points adjustment, like a lot of the decks are still playable. You just have to cut other things. And I think that is a really, you know, if done correctly, is really interesting.
Yeah, and it's
exactly
just one quick point. I think it's provably false. Like if your deck has points, it dies. You know, because EXO did catch all those points, and then you were the only EXO in top 32. I think you were the only EXO in top 32 at Columbus. If I'm
on it,
yeah, not
sure.
to
Yeah.
Well, saying there was one person who managed to make it is not actually a very strong point, but I get the spirit. Instead of saying you were the only one, you should be emphasizing the fact that he did make it.
Before we get on to kind of the discussion of the cycle through decks, I do want to kind of give an example of how, you know,
like emphasize conversion rates. Although I don't know, do we have conversion rates for all the cards? Like I know we know some things, but I don't know that we have like we have like the top 32. Did we? I didn't ever see like the full list of what came in, so I don't know if we got conversion rates If anyone has those, I'd love to have that data.
Point spread might affect your deck building. If you all are familiar with the new Fairy Tale cards, they're good
Those
in
cards are
TCG. They're
fucking
also really good in Genesis.
strong.
One of the things that engine does is it can make Alchemic Magician to set a.
I love that. I love putting. I put Alchemic Magician in the what is it? Witchcrafter deck for Ada to play in Rivalry. That was really funny. Didn't never make it, but it is funny.
Spell, just any straight up spell for your deck.
Yeah, no, I think that's the point, Tack. I just think he emphasized the wrong word to make that point. He was emphasizing how he was the only one to make it. It's like, that's not, you want to emphasize the fact that he made it, not the fact that he was the only one to make it, right?
So if you want, you can go 13 points in on a super polymerization. You can go 10 points in on a mistaken arrest, really powerful spells, right? But doing so makes it kind of unlikely that you can play Snow, which is costed at 85.
Yes.
So you have to make a decision when you're playing this deck.
Are you playing Snow or are you playing non-engine,
want to get
right?
a powerful spell and Snow and then forego all hand traps, or do you want to maybe max out on super poly?
And we also, because I think we're going to get a points update. They said they were going to do a points update on Chaos Origins that would also include Glorious Gallery, I think is what they said. Hold up. They said it at the end of this one. Yeah, it's also going to include Glorious Gallery. So we don't actually know. For now, we can play the Fairy Tale stuff. But we don't actually know beyond like that points list, which is going to be in the near future, coincide with Chaos Origins. So probably about the time Chaos Origins releases. We don't actually know what the points will be like that for that. So we don't even know who will be able to play Snow.
Get access to
but
Snow,
we'll see.
And therefore,
we'll see.
You won't have access to like X, Y.
I can
and
see
Z
them
plays,
putting points on
but
it.
you will-
They've been a little bit more with the release of Blade and Dominion. They were a little, or not Dominion, Domain. They were a little bit more aggressive with the points, which I like. I really appreciate that they got a bit more aggressive with the points. I think that's 100% correct. I think they could be more aggressive with it, honestly. But I think we might see a little bit of a little smattering of points on Fairy Tale in that
have
update.
like more game going second and a more effective set off of your Alchemic Magician if you go for that line turn 1. And like 2 different pilots of this deck can land on 2 different answers to that question.
I love this aspect of Genesis. I love this aspect where you could have 2 branches of a same deck. That one Jirac GMX player managed to get to top 16. I've been working on a GMX Genesis deck for a while now. It is wholly different. Mine runs on a card that's not coming until Chaos Origins, Magical King of the Swamp, and they are just so very different from each other. Fun fact, tier top to regional with Snow and TCG, like last weekend. Goddamn.
Clown Crew, for instance, preparation of
Goddamn.
is 5 points, but absolutely necessary for the deck. But if you're willing to play a Garnet, you can play Incantation, Talismandra, and Chaotic Elements to do the same thing for free, which opens up points for the 3rd copy of Malar Beesma. And like then you have a grind game that other Clown Control players don't, but you will occasionally
Tiers
lose to
forever.
drawing a Garnet or doubling up on it and potentially bricking. And it's like the point decisions you're making have huge implications.
I don't think that's necessarily a
for
problem,
your
though. I like a
matchup
tier top
spread,
every so often.
for your deck's
I think that's about right.
linear game plan, and for how your match against an opponent who just played against your strategy will go, because it may be completely different.
I mean, look at the Mimigul list that I played.
The
versus
Mimiguls are
list
totally
that got-
like, you could devote space to Shifter, you can devote space to Droll, you can or cannot play Zeus. I mean, like 2 different Mimigul pilots may play a completely different
Mimigul versus Lyrilisk Mimigul.
Yeah, the one that top 8 played Life Hack Lyrilisk, like played more Lyrilisk cards.
Yeah, life hack. Dude, the life hack is so fucking funny. They described life hack in here, don't they? Oh wait, no, they described it in the recap. Let me just pull up the. That was Jordan. Is it this one? Life hack. Target a face-up monster on the field. Any damage your opponent takes this turn is halved. That monster's attack becomes equal to your opponent's current life points at the end of the turn. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard and target a face-up monster on the field. Any damage you take is halved. Monster's attack becomes equal to your opponent's life points at the end of the turn. So fucking funny. So fucking funny. I think I now like Tier wasn't a fan when they existed in Pote. Yeah, no, I think now that they've been brought to a reasonable place, and at this point probably
And
less than
devoted more
reasonable.
slots to like
going
going
I like where
second
they're
tools,
at.
I think
It's
I
a
can't
fun,
remember
it's an
their
interesting
was
deck
Well, and one
design.
deck that really does this, I got some players at my locals playing it, is Branded. Branded
my
has
God.
points all over
One
the
of the
place.
most customizable decks of all time.
Oh
For
my
sure.
god. And the poster child of the deck that everybody thought was unplayable. Because
Yeah,
of the
I
point.
don't want to, throw Scarlon under the bus, but after the first Branded points adjustment, she was like, this deck's terrible, not playable in Genesis, I won't be touching the format. Only for people to top with Branded every single subsequent format in a different
Yeah, subsequent formats after they readjusted the
iteration.
points.
Like,
Well, yeah, because one of the players at my locals who also did pretty well in the Genesis event, I believe he made day 2 or just missed out. He
Am
plays
I
Branded,
insane
he plays the one
here?
Branded Fusion, kind of like a number of techie cards. But I played against someone in the
Like when it
side
feels
event
like gambling?
that
That's
played,
exactly right. Yeah, I
White
think tournaments,
Elbaf,
that's the
and he
best when
was
there's a
talking
little bit
to
of
me about it. I
gambling
was like, well,
involved.
what did you forego? And he's like, yeah, I'm not playing Branded Fusion. Like, that's what you got to do. And it's so interesting. And I played against
Or it doesn't have a crazy
two
high
different
ceyling.
Monarch players in the main
Either one,
event.
but
One of them
they've
was
never
playing a
made
more
one that doesn't have a crazy high
conventional list, one of
ceiling.
them was playing
Except for I
Domain.
have
Domain
for
is
rivalry
like
format.
50 points or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's a
I played
crazy
3
amount.
Monarch players in bracket. One was playing Pot of Greeds.
Oh my god, Monarch is really a choose your own adventure book. It's crazy.
One was playing Domain, and one was playing fucking Zaborg. And each one I had to navigate the game totally differently.
And they'll all tell you that you have to play that version. And it's like,
oh, yep.
You bet. I bet you're the right one. But that's what's so fun about it,
But moving on to what you were talking about, specifically about like your deck cycles in and out. I think there are very, very, very few.
I just realized my little thing didn't tell me to do an ad break. Let's do an ad break real quick. I guess. I don't know. Wait, we just skip right through what should have been an ad break. All right. Well, see you in a second. Okay, let's finish this video up.
Instances of that happening. I think
We've
probably
been pausing too much.
Like,
It's taking
I
way
understand
too
people
long.
Being upset that they have to make changes to their deck list on list. Firstly, I appreciate they're not doing monthly lists. It looks like they're doing like bi-monthly lists, which are like alternating with a set release that has like
Yes,
a list.
I actually. That's 100. I'm pausing here again. That's 100% correct. I like this. It's the monthly list was just too fast. I really like the one is a change to the shit. I just wish they would have been more clear about it up front. But the one change to the stuff. I wish there was like I think you could do like little minor changes to like the stuff that's already out. But just one month is changing stuff in accordance to the set release. 1 month is making a big change. 1 month according to the set release. I actually do like that. I think that sometimes though you don't have to just hit stuff that's in the set that's releasing. I think you can hit stuff outside of the set in order to balance that set, right? But
specifically for the cards in that set release, which I think is a nice way to kind of do that. But in terms of decks that I think have actually been pointed out of the format, it's almost exclusively pseudo FTKs from the first suite of Genesis events, where like people had figured out a way to make a hundo point card like exceptionally powerful and accessible every single game and automatically win. And then that's pretty much it. I think almost every other deck is still playable in some capacity. I guess the only one I would say maybe isn't is like Draco Tail.
Yeah,
but,
I was just gonna say.
But Draco Tail
maybe.
is
Draco Tail shouldn't have been in the format to begin with, and it is still vaguely
kind of
playable.
Like, sure, it looks different. You go more in on
It looks more like how it should for Genesis format,
branded
right?
cards. You probably don't play Feimina, but like,
Is Mitsurugi playable? Yes, but if we take a look here, let me just load that up real quick because I won't remember what all the hits are. Let's just look at this list, I guess. Mitsurugi. Playable's a strong word. That's true. Let's look at. Oh fuck! I forgot that they separated Genesis. So, Ame no Hamakiri no Mitsurugi is 100 points. Mitsurugi Ritual and Mitsurugi Prayers are both 51 points. So you're only playing one of these. If Mirror Ritual was dropped from 51 to 50, it would be fine. Prayers, yeah. Yeah, and you know what? I actually wouldn't mind that, really. I don't hate Mitsurugi. I think Mitsurugi looks fun as fuck, actually. I haven't played it, but it seems like fun as fuck if you don't have it as like a side engine in every single deck, right? So that's how I feel, at least.
I don't know. I think there is still stuff there.
There's probably something.
It's just Habakirki.
You know,
I don't even, I honestly don't have, Habakirki is really fucking strong. I have more problem with the fact that it is just so generically available. I wish it locked you or something.
A ton of
I don't
hits, got
mind
second at
consistency. I just
the
fuck
Columbus
the
event.
fact it was in every single fucking deck. Habaquirky. True.
He's also a fucking god. By
Wesley's
the way.
kind of insane. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
maybe not fair.
Well, I mean, okay, I think that
But the
that
deck is still
segues
good.
into a good discussion about, one of the biggest complaints about Genesis format is it only exists to sell people the B and C tier decks from the new packs.
So, I mean,
I get your guys'
I mean, it's not doing that. Like,
thoughts on that a little
This
bit.
is not true, of course, but I do want to kind of interrogate it for a second. If it was true, would it be that bad?
yes. I don't know. This is my. I get that a lot of people don't agree with me. They want Konami to keep making money so that the game can be, run. But I honestly, I've explained this before. I do not give a shit if Konami dies or not. Yu-Gi-Oh is a game I like. I do not like Konami. I do not like the people running Yu-Gi-Oh, right? They're a company. I don't give a shit about them. They're not my friend. Yu-Gi-Oh will continue whether or not Konami is printing, cards or not. And I think making a format that is exclusively for the third best deck of every single format is lame and sucks. I don't think that's what Genesis format is doing. To be clear, I'm with them on that. I don't think that's what Genesis format is doing exclusively. I think the hits, like the way they've handled the points list in the past, and they've made a slight adjustment in Blazing Domain, but that's not really enough data points for me to change my mind on this exactly. The way they've handled the points list has kind of implied that they don't really care about the game balance so much as they care about selling product. And that's what messes me up. I care about I've said this before. I care about maximizing fun. Fun is a relative thing. There could be a lot of different definitions of fun. But, when I'm talking about it, I see fun from my perspective, right? What is fun for me? And what is fun for me is fun for a lot of other people too, but not everyone, right? I don't like floodgates. Some people love floodgates. I know Called by the Dave on Blue Sky fucking loves Amano Awado. I want to fucking strangle that card. I want to rip that card from his hand and rip it in pieces. But we're mutuals on Blue Sky. He's a fun dude. I don't have any problem with him. We just have different ways of having fun, right? Just different means of fun. But for me, no, I'm going to strangle his card. I specifically said his card. I want to be absolutely clear. Call by the Dave's great. He's awesome. I fucking hate Amano Iwato. I don't want that. I don't want that card to exist. By the way, Amano Iwato, he loves stun. It's fun for him. That's exactly what I'm saying. No points in Genesis format. Did you know that Amano Iwato is free in Genesis format? You could just play this. Good luck, figuring out a way to use it, but you can. There's ways. But yeah, so different people have different means of fun. But for me, what would be fun about Genesis format is having a place that has a specific design in mind, and they stick to that. But what I see sometimes when they don't point certain decks hard enough, like Radiant Typhoon, like Cool Tune, like the new Monarch cards, what I'm seeing is cynicism that makes it less fun for me. I see they're not caring about the balance of the game, the design philosophy that they theoretically have, supposedly. Instead, it's caring about selling this product, and that just lowers the fun for me, right? That's all.
I constantly think about, and I made this point way before Genesis, why are we printing thousands of cards that are not strong enough for TCG, and there's no alt format, so they will never see play? Is it so bad that, there is a format where the new RDA stuff sees consistent play? Is that...
We don't know how many people they have. You keep saying this. We don't know. We just assume because it's Konami.
I don't know. I personally... Welcome to fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! You buy the new set every single time anyway,
right,
because that's
it's
how it
still
goes.
A business. I know I'm the number one Konami defender.
Because you're a Konami employee. Again, that's just the easiest thing to say. Konami employee and professional fucking contrarian.
But
yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I think it's cool. There was a Pumpkin player that made Day 2, and it's that's cool.
Yeah, but the Pumpkin deck is cool. Have you considered that? The Pumpkin deck is fucking awesome, and Cool Tune isn't.
Cool as hell. This is the deck that's never going to see play in the TCG.
Yeah.
This is all presupposing that it's true, and it isn't true. So, Jordan, if you want to hop in there.
Yeah, when did Mimighoul come out? Tell me when Mimighoul came out. Forever ago?
It was years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Mimighoul Flower came out. So the flower was selling
They were selling the common from Blazing.
Radiant Typhoon is also cool as the issue. It is actually, Radiant Typhoon is actually pretty cool. That's why I don't have as much of I always harp on Cool Tune, and I don't harp on Radiant Typhoon as much, because Radiant Typhoon, unfortunately, is fucking awesome. It's a really cool deck. But they hit it appropriately when it became, more playable in advanced format, I feel. And they've been trying to hit some of the more egregious cards, which I think is right to do. And the deck was too powerful. It was a little too powerful. Monarch 2, okay, it depends on which of the 3 Monarch decks you're playing. but I still think Monarch should have points. I don't think they should be able to just play Pot of Greed.
Dominion.
Like, this is just the dumbest. I agree with you. Even if it was the case,
It exists
is it really
to
that
sell
bad?
Monarch, the deck that got support in 2025 that everyone forgot about.
Yeah,
Yeah, dog. Those sets are rotting on shelves. They want to sell them.
I'm so. I get that everybody's cynical. I understand people are cynical about things.
And you should be.
It is a business.
About things.
It is a business. They are absolutely doing it to sell product.
But I genuinely don't even think that
It's not their. I don't think it's their main thing they're thinking about, but they absolutely are.
Like, I actually just don't. I think you're just wrong. Like,
I mean, all you have to do is take a look at.
Well,
the
I
top
think you're
cut.
just wrong.
RDA, I think, is the best argument for it. But most of
RDA is the best argument for it. RDA is the best argument for it. RDA is the best argument for it, huh? That's an interesting take.
the RDA, the only it's playing like a RDA card from the new set. Everything else was in that fucking structure deck
RDA,
or
Cool
whatever.
Tune, Radiant Typhoon, Monarch,
is a deck that was
all
playable
shit
in the
released within the
TCG that
last
didn't
2
need to sell
years.
that. Voiceless Voice is
that is really the root of it, Ferret Lord, is that we have professional Konami employee, professional contrarian, and professional wrong man.
an archetype from 2 or 3 years ago, as is Mimighoul. Doomsy and Cool Tune are playable in the TCG, as is Archmage to a degree, as is Elf Note to a degree. I think the first thing you can correctly make this argument about is GMX at top 16. And like, okay.
What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Like, that's, I actually would prefer there to be a format where you can play GMX, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I
mean, obviously GMX was just made for Genesis format. That's the so you can't use that as your argument.
They're trying to sell you the Pearly cards. They're trying to sell you the Super
right.
Quads.
Like the where this argument comes.
Where are you going to have your own podcast where you say the most baseless stuff with 2 other people? I already do. It's called The Kaijus and the Details. I guess it's only one other person, but I say baseless shit on that all the time.
Is there are still archetypes that are very unnecessarily, like older archetypes that are unnecessarily heavy-handed and handed their points.
Yeah.
And again, we're gonna,
Sword Soul. Oh, even the points that are on there now, I think, are too heavy.
I'm sure we're gonna get to those in another discussion point. But like, I don't know I don't even know how to argue with this because it's very provably false. Like I don't know how you can look at a top cut where a solid percentage of decks, like a conversion rate percentage, is high with like Mimighoul.
Can't believe you called RDA a structure deck. Oh, right. It had a fucking. It was all the new cards were in that one set, right?
And other decks that have come out years ago at this point, and
RDA is the most fucking supported deck of all time. I swear to God, they just love printing RDA. Hey, Jack Atlas fans, man, they're dedicated. Jack Atlas fans are fucking dedicated.
That the format's existence is just to sell the B archetypes, and like I don't.
I can't believe I forgot that it was from fucking Blazing Domain, not from a structure deck. The structure deck from a while back.
How do I argue with you?
But it is still like heavily, supported by that structure deck, which is
One of the
nice.
exciting things about this format is you can still play the A archetypes. The decks that are good in the TCG are available in Genesis. They just have to play fundamentally differently. Like, you can still play Dooms in Genesis. It just has to do something else.
Is Dooms that good in Advanced right now? Is Doom Z that good in Advanced right now?
Only going to have one rotary. Like, you have to make cuts somewhere.
Exactly. Like, you aren't going to be able to do the Zagredo lines, obviously, but like, you are
It's
still
up there?
able to use your deck.
I don't play Advanced anymore, so I don't know what's good there anymore.
In the TCG, you just have to adapt to a fundamentally different play style. And
metagame. I'm interrupting you because I think this is super important, right? I think Cool Tune is in a worse position in this format than it is in the
It didn't have good
I mean, duh. This is yeah, it lost all the tools that make it super powerful in the advanced format because they finally started pointing it. I don't know. Like, I think the Blazing Domain list that they made was really good. And it finally did what I was asking them to do before, which is point the cards that are coming out now instead of waiting for them to be busted later. One hit like that is not enough for me to be, okay, problem solved. I don't know.
Versions.
Unquestionably,
I played against two.
The most popular deck in Swiss. It had 1 in the top 16.
Do we have the numbers on? MBT keeps making claims. I've seen this from other videos. He keeps making claims about the conversion rates. Do we have the numbers? Where are the numbers? I want the numbers. Yeah, that's the thing, Tack. Is like I wanted more points on the main Cooltoon stuff. But I think before that hit, they were better in position. Before that new support came out, they were better positioned than in TCG, in Genesis format. After that hit, they weren't.
And this guy, yugioh Ye, by the way, this is the guy for Cooltoon. He is like not to.
He was there, so maybe he saw a lot of decks while at the event. Well, that's not what I want. I want if he's gonna make a claim like that, I want numbers.
I think every one of those fucking regional qualifier events, they do like side events for Genesis mats, and he is farming them with Cooltoon. He's got such an unbelievable build of the deck. It's got,
but like, obviously, with the most recent points update, the fucking people who made the fucking game also agree that Cooltoon didn't have enough hits.
Like Vsauce Samsara in the main. He was playing Herald of Orange and Green before pretty much anyone else was, just because he was like, you have to make cuts somewhere, and you no longer can finance the hand traps that had made it powerful at the proto YCS. He's got DD designators.
But like, that's the thing. I don't. This is frustrating because we're arguing from like this point after the Blazing Domain hits.
Everyone, put your hands
Flora,
together.
thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. We're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm getting frustrated. I hope you enjoy. This is the thing that's bothering me, because we're arguing at it post Blazing Domain hits and not arguing about it on release when there was a card with 3 points on it. And that's when you buy the cards, right? Like, if you're a Genesis point person, you bought the cards already. Sure, you're not buying the Blazing Domain cards. But you've already bought the Cooltoon engine. That's why so many Cooltoon players are upset about the points that they're getting, because they bought in with the understanding that their deck was fine for Genesis format, and then it turns out it's not, and it's getting hit and being rotated out, and now they have to play something else, and now they have to buy more cards.
In the side, and we're supposed to be upset about the state that this deck is in.
How was your stream,
also,
Flora? What were you
Cooltoon
doing?
Is poorly positioned. I would argue is poorly positioned in this
Maybe
format
the
because
Holler.
it has a
Cool.
dog water matchup against Mimighoul.
It was. I don't
again,
think it was 5. I think it was, I'm 90% sure it was 3. I could be wrong, but I'm really pretty sure it was 3, and they raised it to 5 later.
I know people are going to guffaw at that because Mimighoul has never really been that great of a deck, but in a format where Mimighoul is highly played and is good, that deck stops the other player from normal summoning.
Yeah.
How does Cooltoon play the game? You can't rotary effect because you can't normal. You can't use JJ Cooltoon's additional normal. You can't normal. So
you've
like,
just got the overtake. That's the only tool in your arsenal.
You've got overtake, and I think you can like set a tuner and tribute it if
You can't make arguments from like specific decks perspectives when the format is this wide open.
you've drawn the JJ Cooltoon. That's it. That's what you got. So it's
the deck is poorly positioned in the Mimighoul. Great, there was 2 Mimighouls in the top cut.
It's like the landscape being wider and different forces the A archetypes to play differently and even be in a worse position in some cases because of the difference of the metagame. So I don't know.
That's a very strange argument to make. Like, okay. your deck can so it does lose to Mimighoul because your deck can win, and the wide open format allows for that. But the wide open format also allows for decks that can't beat Cool Tune. What are you talking about?
I love this format so much. I can talk at length about how much, I don't know, the different dynamics of it I find to be very
Can we
interesting.
get some opinions on, because I think that there are, I don't want to be too positive. This isn't a Konami sponsored video. Fuck Maxi, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Can we talk about, some points that you guys would shift around? Because, shift around, no pun intended here.
Oh, you want to?
Because there are cards that are problems, and I don't want us to sound like we're just. Genesis
Michelle
is a
plays bad.
perfect
Thank you for the
one.
follow.
Yeah, no,
I
definitely not.
mean, Jordan, you want to take this, or can I go first?
Yeah, I'll start off with the obvious one, Shifter. There's no justifiable reason for this card to be in this format. Like, truly.
True.
I think
Real.
Shifter meets definitions of like categories of cards that they have explicitly stated that they don't like, right?
Yeah. And they refuse to increase the points on it because the data doesn't say they should.
Counters to counters, Shifter perfectly falls into that definition. It stops Veiler, it stops Ghost Ogre, you can't activate Drop.
Yeah, Tack, that is true. But what Peeps is saying is that it's a wide open format, and so Mimighoul's in there, and that means that, it loses to Mimighoul, right? But what I'm saying is that the wide open format means there's also a lot of decks that are just going to fold to Cool Tune. An argument that it loses to Mimighoul is not particularly interesting to me in a format where there's like 5 repeat decks total. It's not true. It's more like probably like 10 in, top 32. I just don't think you're just saying words. Like, it doesn't matter unless, as you say, there are enough decks that don't care about Cool Tune. Emperor Stuff, thank you for the raid. Oh my god, I'm getting raided all over the place. Welcome, raiders. This is what happens when I stream later than normal. We're watching MBT, Doug, and Peeps talk about Genesis format and getting very upset about some of their very bad arguments for things I also agree with. Welcome. How was your Kaizo? How was your Kaizo? I assume it was Kaizo Tuesday? Oh, good. Genesis with discourse. Yep. I like Genesis format. I just think they have bad arguments for it.
Play under Shifter, you can't activate Ultimate Slayer under Shifter. There are so many
Mario Monday.
that you can't play when Shifter has resolved, and that's not even talking about all the engines that just don't work when Shifter has
Glad you
come
had
in
fun.
play. The
Katie,
prior
for
justifications.
We got to the part where I'm probably going to agree with most of what they say because they're talking about points adjustments.
Yeah, exactly. Prior justifications for Shifter's involvement in a format is like maybe it forcibly diversifies a pie chart because certain very strong meta strategies can't play into it. But there's
got 4 exits done. And I like this hack a lot. Hell yeah. But also, I think like the argument that Cool Tune is bad in this format doesn't necessarily mean anything when I'm worried about like how Cool Tune is balanced as a whole. Like maybe because I've said this a couple of times. I don't think this format is actually as wide open as it is at YCS Columbus. I think the format's just not solved, is what it is. But I could be wrong on that. I just don't think there's been as much testing in Genesis format, and people don't have the locals to really dig down into it. People just trying to see things from other perspectives. That is actually fucking true. I'm not going to agree with you, Farouk. I think fucking Cool Tune sucks ass. I think Cool Tune should have never been printed at all. And it shouldn't have been in Genesis format, certainly. I think Cool Tune should have been the points it has now are what it should have had when it came into the format.
no reason for that. All Shifter is doing is just making it for worse decks like Pumpkin. It's making it harder for those decks that are already struggling to compete, right? There's just no justifiable reason for a card like that to be in the format at all. But there you go. I think Shifter is the
It's fucked
biggest
up. You
play
could just
on the
play
format, and I know
Cool
for a
Yeah.
fact it is causing people to not
Exactly.
try the format out.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I will say. But go ahead, Joseph.
No, I mean, I want to echo that. I think that's the number one answer. The sub number one answer is a card that's also very popular in the TCG right now in Di-Fi.
Thank God they hit Di-Fi. I wish they hit it more.
Irritating ass card, 0 points, does the same thing.
I don't think people will play it much, but there will be the occasional time you'll see it, and you will fucking want to jump.
Top 16 Clown Crew player is playing functionally just Banish Control with main deck Shifter and Di-Fi, and like that was enough. Like that
You
kind
want
of
to take
is
a
enough.
peek at my deck list? You want to take a?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I'm
I
frozen
think
for DDG. I'm doing the same thing, man, because it's
Ugh.
broken. It's
I
broken.
think there's a number of cards that aren't identified as floodgates at present that
Yeah, because I as I said multiple times, I really do believe that the people who run Genesis format don't see banished decks as a floodgate. They don't see the banished cards as a floodgate. They see it as a strategy you can play that is just as valid as any other strategy, right? So they don't see it the same way. So they're treating it with the data instead of being like, well, we don't want this in the format.
will need to go to 100.
It's a fundamental difference in opinion or in like perspective,
obviously, this
right?
is just me saying it because I played Clown Crew, but the Wicked Avatar has to go.
I do like in the fucking announcement they're like, wait, this is the one. If you win with the Wicked Avatar, more power to you. If the day comes when the Wicked Avatar is able to replicate the past successes of Plasma, it could receive the same treatment. But like until then, I want to see you do it. It is kind of funny. I wish they would just go ahead and hit it, but it is kind of funny.
There's a number of
Try it, asshole.
Cosmo Neos. That deck can't be allowed to live past this event.
Yep, Cosmo Neos also got put out the pasture. I don't know if it's enough points, but it probably is.
Not
I
that
didn't
it's
see
good.
a single player playing that shit. I don't know what you're talking.
Yeah, and Naturia Rose Whip is still legal in this.
Yeah, Rose Whip. And I thought Synchro Overtake was going to get points. Instead, all the cool tunes got more points. But Synchro Overtake honestly could have eaten some points.
Rose Whip.
Nope, they didn't hit Rose
Whip. 0
Whip.
points. It blows my fucking mind.
Yeah. So those cards
They
for
did
sure, like,
kind of just
obviously the
forget
card-
Rose
like,
Whip.
and
I kind of forgot Rose Whip. I didn't mention it in my reaction. Oh no.
These are cards that will get hit, to be clear. Like, these are just going to get hit. The other stuff I'd like to see is...
Yeah, they're just going to get hit. They're just going to hit all of them. They're just going to get hit.
I don't know if you all
All
are
of them.
frustrated
Every
by
single
this,
one of
but
them.
I really liked that there were some off-meta hand traps that were free and therefore played a lot in Genesis. It kind of gave the deck a unique suite of cool guys that, like, represented it. You know, they were like
The
little
Hack-a-Hands,
mascots.
the Hack-a-Hands guy
I
is
liked-
popping up. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I liked the Rescue Ace guy.
He always talks about the
I wish
Rescue
they
Ace
had kept
thing.
him in the format, but certainly DD Crow, I think, should go back to 0. I like Slayer at
Mhm.
0. I liked Cosmic at 0. Of course,
This
they're
is
still
my
going to be
biggest
played at 1.
disagreement that I have with everybody. So if you want to get through this point, but I have to argue with this all the time because this is one of the biggest changes that I think is the best thing about Genesis format and why I will continue to play it. Because if those cards stayed at 0, I think it'd be terrible for the format. But I don't want to.
PP head.
Messing with the rate, I gotta say, messing with the ratio.
I do like messing around with it. I was really critical of it at the time, but now that I have more time to think about it, I'm like, I like that they're just kind of messing around with like little 1-point changes on some of these things.
Ratios of the 1-point cards is actually like
it's a ton
of lot of fun.
Yeah,
like I don't know.
really
I
enjoyed
think I get it because it's like it's annoying that you can't play them, and I didn't really play when those cards were 0 points, but I got into a position with my list where I have 4 points left at the end, so it's like do
That's
I play
the
3
Cosmic
Dark
Suite.
Hole?
Why Lancia at 1 point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cosmic Cyclone? Do I go 2 and 2? Do I play Ultimate Slayer? What do I do with those points? I think it's a little frustrating at first that like the cards that we're seeing play at 0 got put to 1, but I think
I think my biggest issue with it is less that it happened and more the reasoning for it. Again, I have to harp on this too much because I've talked about it a lot. I've talked about it on other videos. I just don't like the data-driven shit. I just don't like the data-driven shit.
1-point cards like
I think
it really does
data
come down
driven
to
ban
each
lists fucking
individual
suck.
point when you're deck building, and those cards, it's almost like it's not quite the same thing, but it's similar to the limited 3 that they have in duel links, at least in my head.
That is exactly the feeling it has. Yeah, the 1-pointers, it has, really the whole format kind of has the Duel Link style kind of feel to it. I don't like the play rate being the foremost driver. Exactly. I don't mind using the data to inform your decisions. I just don't want it to be the only thing informing your decisions.
And the last card I kind of want to bring up is one that I am almost positive
Or
will get
primary.
pointed at least
It
just
should
a
be
little.
like
His illusion gauge should
tertiary
probably
at
be
best.
5.
Yeah, yeah.
It is crazy that illusion gain was at 0 points when it was why? I'm glad they appropriately pointed it now.
I think that card is way less good than people give it credit for.
For sure. Absolutely. It is just Raigeki Monster Reborn. But it shouldn't have been 0 points. I don't know if it should have been more points than like as many points as it is now, but it shouldn't have been 0.
In this format, I agree with you in that regard, Peeps, but you see its rate of play and it does kind of need something associated with it.
For sure. For sure. If I may talk about
It is. I think the only reason it was seeing as much play as it was is because it was 0 points. Otherwise, it would go the way of Raigeki, as Tak is pointing out.
The floor is yours.
I'm trying to think about if there's any other cards specifically that need points that I would like to see.
I think the Heralds could probably.
Oh, the Heralds. Oh my
Yeah, no, and this was before they pointed the heralds. Oh, I love the way they pointed the heralds. Literally 3, 2, 1 in order of how good they are. I think that's perfect for them.
Go to two or three at least, yeah.
Yeah, Orange Light should probably just go to a pretty big number
100.
like 10 because
200.
of how it interacts with non-engine. Their philosophy that they have developed for this format, the only one that I really disagree with is consistency. I think I would like to see consistency tools lessen in points.
Completely. Wow, that is completely I completely disagree with that. I 110 million% disagree with consistency tools being hit. I love consistency tools. I've always been a fan of consistency tools. I like when my deck does its thing, right? I think you have to hit end board and non-engine because those are the power parts that make the deck unfun, right? Joseph got owned by Herald decks 3 times in a row at Columbus. That's true, yeah.
Quite a bit, but their philosophies are good, right? Like counters to counters being expensive. That's a great philosophy. I mean, Called by the Grave, we've hated that card in advance for forever now, you know? There are obvious philosophies that they have around floodgates, like, and the...
This is true, and it actually maybe points to maybe Herald of Orange Light should be more points, as people were saying.
On is 100 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When's the last time and the band played on has seen play in a metagame? It's been forever ago. But it is 100 points.
I agree, 100% Stove. Because when you hit decks on consistency instead of on what they're actually doing, they can still do what they're actually doing. They just do it less often. And so the unfun part is still there. It just doesn't happen as often. And that just feels bad for both players.
Philosophy of how it makes a metagame. Or
it makes everyone unhappy
function,
instead of everyone
right?
happy,
They just
right?
need to extend that philosophy to the other cards.
Cool
in the
Tune's
game.
consistency tools are the devil. Well, Cool Tune is just a devil deck, so
Like Di-Fi,
it's just the deck from hell.
Macrocosmos, stuff like that. Yeah, I in terms of point adjustments for like.
But like, I think the things you should be hitting are like shit, like Rose Whip, right? I think that would be a better hit.
That's really all I can say is like you have
Generally
stated philosophies,
speaking.
just follow them. All of the player base will like that. You know, Mask of Restrict. Why do we have a floodgate for tribute summon decks and ritual decks?
That is actually. Oh my god, is that unhit? Is Mask of Restrict just available? I know it's a trap card, but like, Jesus Christ.
Also something that prevents
Gross.
Towers monsters from being kaiju, you know?
Oh god, I didn't even think about that aspect. Ew.
Just 100 point it. That's super easy. You already have a philosophy built in that you've communicated that you want for the format. Just follow it.
Okay, well, you know, now that we...
That is fair. I think there's certain ones that need to be hit, and like the problem with Cool Tune is more in the ways it interacts with you. Seeing Lunalight players playing it in advance too. Oh no! That's such devastating news out of character. So this is the worst thing you can tell me today.
Here, one thing that I wanted to bring up at the end and just kind of get your guys' thoughts on, or maybe we can talk about it. It's not like a hot take
Mask
or
of
anything.
Restrict being played
one
in
of the things
advance.
that I wanted to say though is that I think two things. First off, I think if you are listening and you're interested in trying Genesis after all of this discussion, please know that like you don't have to buy anything. Like, I think I want to make that as clear as possible. Like, yeah, if you get really into it and you feel like you got to go out and buy stuff, but if you are looking for a format that does not require the new $100 secret rare, this is the format for it. This is an incredibly cheap format.
I know those prices are actually way off, but
that it has that selling point, just like Edison, where, you know, the barrier to entry is super low. Also, I'll say that I think one of the most important changes, and one of the reasons why I think this
it's significantly cheaper. You still have to buy shit.
YCS was so tiny is that we need to have the change.
The real issue with Genesis format, and why you shouldn't, you know, just go out and buy stuff, is that there's not any guarantee your locals runs Genesis format. You have to make sure your locals actually runs it. Mine doesn't. So you shouldn't buy anything. You should play online. Dueling Nexus. Here. I'm going to give you a good advice here. Dueling Nexus is probably the best place to play Genesis, besides maybe if you want to do a manual sim. If you're okay with a manual sim, playing it on Dueling Book. Right? Because you should never buy anything. Actually, that's true. Just take things. True. You can get, what I'm saying is that if you're okay with a manual sim, you can get matches on Dueling Book. You can get matches on Dueling Nexus. Do not try on Omega. It is fucking dead on Omega. But if you want to get matches in, you can use Dueling Nexus. You can use Dueling Nexus. You can use Dueling Book. Why do I have 2 tabs of Dueling Nexus open?
Of day one being on Friday, because I really
do not buy unless you're absolutely certain you want to play it, and absolutely certain you want to play it at a competitive level. Because otherwise, if you're not playing at a competitive level, you can absolutely follow Doug's advice. You could take this Red Dragon Archfiend deck, and what are the expensive cards in here? And the Fuelos are still a little bit of money. Are these anything? No. Probably some of the new shit. Where's the new? Is that one of the new cards? It's probably gonna be the extra deck. This guy? Not really. Where's the money coming from? Is it coming from Zaylin? No. Is it coming from Illusion Gate? Yeah. It's coming from Illusion Gate specifically. You don't need to play this shit anymore. Don't play Illusion Gate. Vice Dragon. Oh, Vice Dragon's money too. Yeah. But like, you don't need to play Vice Dragon. You can play a less powerful version. You'll probably do still fine at your locals if they have it.
think like,
but Konami needs to do a lot more to incentivize locals to actually run Genesis format if they want it to succeed.
I played inside events on Sunday, and like all the people that I was playing against on Sunday were like, "Oh yeah, I played in the main event on Saturday, but I wanted to try out Genesis. I just wouldn't drop from the."
If you want to play Vice Dragon, though, it's fun. It is, but it is also $20 per copy.
Play Genesis. I know Joseph stayed in a queue for an hour trying to get an opponent online, and I think that Genesis is still in its sort of grassroots stage, where we got a couple content.
Well, I wouldn't say grassroots. It's more like AstroTurf, but I get your point. It's really low to the ground right now. There's not a lot of people in on it, but it is coming from the company, so you can't really call it grassroots.
And creators talking about it and getting no views, but I think that it does have a lot of potential, and I think one of the biggest things is going to be letting players play in. If you're listening to this and you're not familiar, YCSs are going to change to be Friday is Genesis format day 1, Saturday is TCG format day 1.
I like this setup. I know Coder thought it was like a really insulting to Genesis players, but like I think this setup is really cool.
And Sunday is both day 2s, so what that will allow players to do is play in both day
I think it's
1s
fucking
to
awesome.
Have 2 chances at making day 2, and I think that'll open it up.
Like, that's such a cool fucking idea. You have 2, like if you do bad at Genesis, you could be like, okay, let's reload, let's do advanced. if you do poorly at advanced, you still have your Genesis run, right?
Up for a lot more people, because I want more people to try out the format, because I think there are too many people, and I used to be one, by the way. I think there are too many people that have not played or barely have played the format that are very vocal online about how bad it is. This goes for the TCG too.
Yeah, there's also
This is true of every single Yu-Gi-Oh thing ever.
true of Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it is true of
Thank you.
It's true of life, actually, that's
Yeah,
super common. But I think
That's
specifically
true.
in Genesis, it pisses me off because I think there's
Because
a lot
Genesis
of
is
bad
good.
faith arguments, and I think
Right.
we've kind of pushed back against a few of those in this discussion. And I think people should try it out before condemning it.
Yeah.
Not to plug the shit out of everything, but I will say if you find the deck building process pretty daunting, I've got a series where I do Genesis decks like TMT, and those, by the way, the views have been going up. So
that's good to
there
know.
are more people every
good to
week
hear.
interested in finding Genesis decks. That's, at least I think, a good sign. If you're looking to play consistently, I can't really recommend Omega because after you get to like plat, it is impossible to find a game.
It's impossible to find games. I'm not at any rank. It's impossible to find games.
But Peeps can attest to Dueling Nexus is exceptionally active. There is a Genesis.
I didn't realize they were going to do the same exact plug that I did. Okay, I would have saved it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, there's a Genesis Discord where people
That's true.
play pickup games constantly. That you just
there's also
have to
there's
search
also a
Genesis
lot of
Discord
other
and you'll
fan
get to it.
options.
There are weekly online events in that Discord. If you don't have a locals around you that plays it, one thing I've had a lot of success with is just like building 3 or 4 decks and jamming them at locals casually. And then people come back for the tournament on the day that we do those as well. I think there are a lot of ways to play Genesis. That
Man,
people
I wish I
aren't
had a
engaging
better
with just
locals.
because they've been told there's no way to play Genesis.
Jordan, do you have any final thoughts?
I have a locals that's like way closer to me that doesn't do Yu-Gi-Oh at all, and I'm tempted to just be like, hey, can I just bring a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh decks and let's just fucking jam some games? And like I could just bring some people who might want to jam, and anyone who wants to join in, I have more decks available, right? I'm tempted, very tempted to do that.
Peeps is constantly like innovating cool deck lists in Genesis and playing the shit out of them. Like, really do tune into a Peeps stream.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love this.
You know, I've ragged on Peeps a lot this stream, but I think his deck building proclivities aren't exactly. I wouldn't say they're like necessarily always good, but he's really interesting. He's always innovating like something, and there's always ideas you can get from what he's doing, and like really pull something interesting out of it.
Format, like I drove. I don't know how long is it to Indianapolis from Doug? Like 4 hours.
He's always
or
looking for
something.
weird
Like,
shit.
I drove to
Exactly.
Indianapolis just to jam regional pods. I love this format. And the fact that I'm trying.
And he's always
to
doing
do
interesting
the
shit
work
with weird
of
shit.
showing
Exactly. Like
people-
it's really cool.
like proving people wrong. I know that's like a very cynical way to engage with a
You're
format.
showing
but
them the light. You're not proving them wrong. You're showing them the path.
But I've had a lot of fun doing it. Like the Proto YCS, around that time when Cool Tune was far and away the best thing you could be doing in Genesis format.
Oh wait, was Cool Tune the best thing you could be doing in Genesis format at some point? That's interesting.
Everybody was saying like, oh, you can't play this format because you have to play non-engine, and the only way you can play is if your deck has 0 points, you play 0 non-engine. Well, lo and behold, I play a deck where 50 points is Sheeran and 50 points is Kikkalos.
Yeah.
Or I was playing Havness at that event, but like I have no points in non-engine.
His fucking tier limit Tistina thing is so funny.
Deck, and I get top 32, and then a complaint is, oh, this format is just for the B archetypes. I take Mimighoul, a deck that's years old at this point, and get top 16. And I'm not doing that to talk about how awesome I am. I'm doing it to like tell people that you can be creative and have fun in this format, and all of these complaints that you're seeing around, some of them might be true. I think a great complaint that is being brought up is stuff like Sword Soul. Like, what are we doing? We got to reduce some points.
These things that are clearly pointed based on when the testing started that haven't aged well,
Kitty!
like gladiator beasts and ninjas and stuff. These just need to be completely taken off. I hope to see.
I don't know why they didn't just completely take it off. Like, if we go look at, can we just look at that real quick? Where is the Sword Soul shit? It's somewhere right here. Why Why are we still having 7 points on emergence? Chisho I get. Chisho, I think, is the only one that should have points. 1 point. Cheng Ying also getting points. To be fair, Cheng Ying, fucking good card.
That on a future update. I don't think it's
sure
going
it
to happen
will.
all at one point.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
They're being a little too careful with it.
We can't just be adding any worm for free.
But they can honestly just get rid of a lot of these points and just, let us figure it out from here. Obviously, they need to continue points.
The problem with Chisho is that it really strikes a conflict in my ideals, because I really am the biggest supporter of, consistency tools, but also I have been really vocal about pointing everything that has a negate on it. And Chisho is both. It's a consistency tool and also it's a negate. So I'm like, where do you put it?
Things as they release, but all this to say, don't try out, or rather don't listen to the noise. Try out the format. If you have build a deck.
Which
test
way,
it where
Western
you can,
Worm?
Take it to some side events at a regional. Just try it. I've had
It's only one or the other. Yeah, we should make a rule where you can only use the search effect.
so much fun, and this has made me so engaged with Yu-Gi-Oh more than I ever have been before. And I've won. I won an Effect Veiler. I have an Effect Veiler prizing from a YCS now that I never thought I was going to be able to get in my life, and now I have it.
That shit's 8 points.
True.
Yeah, I think the Card
Damn
Trooper
failures.
is 0 points, so
Yeah.
I think I won that. All right, well, thank you guys for joining me on this Genesis discussion. I really hope the commenters, you
Is that
guys
it?
learned something along the way. Make this video. Click the description.
Okay, no, that's just the wrap up shit. Okay, this went way too long. Let me take a big sip of water before I read the last line in Shishao's text box. So, we just talked a lot about Genesis format, huh? I think Genesis format is really fun. I think some of the arguments they made here were bad. Some of them were good. Some of them were bad. A lot of them were bad. But I think they come from a good place, which is trying to defend the format as being maligned by random people. Farfa, Coder. Hi, Golden Nova. Got a lot of big stars in my chat today. Nova out of characters. Emperor style. I am ready to go take a nap or something. I'm so tired. And Kai, yeah. You should try Genesis format. If you don't think you would like it, I seriously give it a shot. If there's a card you like, if there's a card or deck you really like and you don't think you can play Genesis format because you can't play that deck or card, I would really suggest trying to give another deck a try, or maybe doing what they're saying and trying to, shift it in a way that makes it more playable in this format. Give it a shot. Just give it a shot in some way before you actually write it off, right? Strongly considering only testing for Nats, just worried about splitting focus between both formats. That's really fair. If you are like a dedicated advanced person, that is absolutely fair. I just wish we could be nicer to each. I've been really mean this video because that's what gets views, and I really fucking hate that, honestly. But I've tried to be more realistic about it, right? And I know I've failed at points, for sure. You can point to many points where I was just mean for no reason, because that's just the way that energy goes when you try and do this kind of stuff. But I really don't know why we have to yell at each other about Genesis format so much. Why do people have to yell that it's so bad? It's so in your people. I was it Farfa who was the only people who are into Genesis format are people who can't win in normal formats or some shit like that. I don't know how serious he's being, because it's Farfa. He's always fucking saying shit for the sake of making people, for rage baiting. But then he gets actually he tries to rage bait people and then they argue back and then he gets actually mad about it, which is so fucking frustrating. I don't know why we have to make a 50-minute video yelling at people yelling at Genesis format. I guess because people are yelling about Genesis format and we want to defend the thing that we like before Konami kills it. I wish we didn't have to do this, I guess is what I gotta say. I don't know why I'm trying to make this have like a moral lesson at the end, like one of my video essays does, but that's what I'm thinking at the end here. It's like, why did we have to do this? Why are we here? Just to suffer? What do you think of the Edison Genesis beef? One of the fakest beefs of all time. So fucking stupid. I cannot believe it. Yeah, man, Genesis Genesis format's bad because they killed Edison for it. And they definitely killed Edison for Genesis format and not because it didn't make them any money. I mean, the video is titled Yu-Gi-Oh! Players Don't Understand Genesis Format. It's a pretty antagonistic way to go about it. I know it's referencing DZ's titles, but like, it's a pretty antagonistic way to go about it, right? Like, they're not raising their voice necessarily, but they are being antagonistic. Well, I'm calling it fake in that their concerns are fake. I think that they're just kind of lashing out of anger because their format got killed and Genesis format lives. I think it's just a matter of lashing out. DZ's whole channel is originally built on negativity bias. Exactly, yeah. Which, you know, was funny at the time, but like now looking back, it's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done this. And I think DZ sees the same thing, which is why he doesn't do these kind of videos very often anymore. I guess what I gotta say is be kind to each other. It's a lot cooler. And maybe don't spend 2 hours watching a 50-minute video and getting upset about the ways that they argue. Because it's kind of just going to be a waste of time. Unless you're making ad money. Ha ha ha! You motherfuckers! You're funding this negativity! You dumbass pieces of shit! Okay. Enough stupid shit. Let's get out of here. Boycott Empire. It's so true. Exclamation point. If you want to support this negativity, exclamation point socials in chat. You can make the internet a worse place by following that link and clicking subscribe on all the channels there. Oh, thank you all for sticking around this long. It's very late. It's time for food. I'm going to send you off to someone else now. Where the fuck am I sending you? True. My experience with Empire again, they put my game on stream and then were relatively kind with it, but had slight criticisms about some things and made jokes about it. I don't even remember if I had slight criticisms. Did I? Let's go to Peeps. That would be extremely funny. Do it. Yo, I was talking a lot of shit about how Peeps actually is a really cool place to go to. For interesting deck building takes. What's he doing right now? Flame Swordsman? Flame Swordsman Fire King? Fuck yes. Okay, fuck it. We're gonna raid Peeps. Thank y'all for hanging out tonight. When you get over there, as I say every stream, be kind and courteous, which is all I ask of you. We like Peeps. Peeps is a cool dude. We just disagree with him sometimes, which is okay and legal to do. We like Peeps. Folks, we like Peeps. All right. Have fun over there. Thanks for joining me for this fucking insane thing we just did. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everyone.